greedy. Weakened and exposed. Forever on the defense. But no longer.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Eternal Challenger League Season 5, qualifier number 8. It's time, guys. We're going big, we're going thick. This is the last qualifier, so not all players here have qualified yet, or have reached the finals, I should say. In the first best of 3, which we are ready for, it's going to be Zach Bisane facing off against Crabling, and then the second best of 3 is to be determined, because the bottom side of the bracket is still kind of rolling on. So let me see if the players are in the lobby. I'll let them know they can start with the picks and bans. Yeah, a little webcam action. It's feeling spicy. I was using it for the podcast the other night, so I was like, hey, let's just throw it on today, man. And yeah, the mullet's gone. I told you guys about the mullet last stream, all right? This is the real deal, you know? No, dude, I couldn't do it anymore. I looked like a homeless person. I wasn't capable of taking care of long hair. All right, so feel free to start picks and bans. What's up, Grim Soka? How you doing, man? Welcome back. I'm glad you got some time off work to hang out with the crew, man. And yes, it's going to be Crabling against Zach Bisane. No, I have a normal haircut now. It's very normal. Yeah. I know. Guys, all right. Let's lay it down here. I was only going to have that mullet for a week. I kept it for like 4 or 5 months for you guys. Like a long time. Tell me it's just a wig. I kept it it had a good run. But yes, we're going to do Oakenhammer. Oakenhammer is a good map, so we'll do this bad boy. Yeah, so like, dude, all right. Yeah, it was rough. I had a good time with it, but there came a point where I was like, I just look bad, you know? Like my brother and sister came from New York City to visit, and we took a big family picture, right? So it was my brother who's here in California, it was my sister and my other brother, right? And like they all looked like good and like composed in the picture, and I'm just there with like a tank top and like a pot belly and like a mullet. I'm like, all right, all right, let's break it down. Let's get back to business, you know? But yeah, no, I'll happily grow another one at some point. But yeah. See, Lady Turin likes it. She approves of the new style here. So yeah, that's that, my friends. Let's see. Let us go ahead and switch on over to the battle scorecards and check this out. So one of our great fans here, community members, made this glorious screen blocker for us. It is the Skinwolf condom brand advertisement, which I certainly love. His name was simply HM in Discord, but yeah, it's awesome stuff, man. Yes, I'm free, my lovely wife. I'm free. We're going hard. Turin looks like the cool gym substitute teacher. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. I'd be about that life. Yeah, I had to re-record the podcast. I did it with Aerocrastic yesterday, and it's all good to go. So that's going to be going up tomorrow morning, 100%. So tomorrow morning, probably like 9 or 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And the podcast episode was actually quite a bit of fun. We talk about, let me make sure they're doing their picks and bans. Yeah, I think they are. Cool. We talk about the most the subject was, we changed it from the original one. The subject for this podcast is the most annoying unit or lord, you can do either one, for every faction. So we go through every single faction of the game, all 15 factions that are playable, of course, without sub-factions, and we talk about what are the most annoying things on those roster, or more specifically, what the most annoying one is. And we had a donation from King Agizal in the beginning, a $3 donation. My apologies for missing that. Deploy the fully armed and operational metal intro. Wish I could give more. Please don't, man. Don't. No worries, brother. I appreciate that. I'm glad you enjoyed the intro. I'm glad it's back too. It certainly really sets the tone of the stream, in my opinion. Yeah, it's pretty great. And Aaron Wallace, Turin, my man. As a proud Englishman, I'm currently at Ye Old Pub, so I'll miss the stream, but we'll definitely catch up tomorrow. Just paying my dues. Hey, man. Aaron, thank you for paying the troll toll, man. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you on the next stream. I might do a Crusader King stream tomorrow. I'm not sure. I was kind of on the fence about it. I mean, I enjoy it, but part of me is like, maybe I should just do another Total War stream. I obviously know all of you guys are going to just say Total War, but I think it'd be fun to like try once or twice on stream. Aaron Wallace, man, thank you, and enjoy your time at the pub, brother. Drink one in my honor. I'll be picking Tomb Kings, banning Dwarves, and Chaos for Zach B. Saint. Solid stuff for sure. Chaos is really good against Tomb Kings. Obviously, the Burning Head is really good. They have Shaggets, which are great against Constructs. Yeah, definitely one of the few matchups in which Chaos is like favored against a top tier faction. And of course, Dwarves are just like the natural hard counter against Tomb Kings. They're very, very good against those type of factions. So yeah, the Vampire Coast video was fun. It's just kind of a rant, you know. I had some coffee. I was like high on energy because I'm drinking coffee again. Not every day, but I'm easing back into it. So we're doing it like every other day. So I was like super wired on caffeine after not having had it for like years. And yeah, we just went from there. Flying Dutchman with the CK3. I'm a complete noob at Crusader Kings though. Like, dude, I'm so bad at that game. I have no idea what I'm doing. Shit just kind of happens and I just like move my army around, you know? That's how it feels. Like, oh, you should marry this person. Yeah, marry that person, whatever. Like, yeah. Can you name your own characters in Crusader Kings? I feel like you can't. No, Ben Russell, I didn't do the poll to decide the community title for channel members yet. I was going to do it maybe at the end of the stream while I have you guys here. Because a lot of people, obviously the people who care most about it, like, would be, you know, people who usually watch the streams and become members on the streams and things like that. But yeah, we'll do it at the end of the stream. Yeah, Jabba the Hutt. Some dwarf players do spam gyrocopters. You got to respect it for sure. Bring something to deal with them. The Haggard Legion. The Dukes of Haggard was pretty good too, though. Like the Dukes of Hazzard, the Dukes of Haggard. There was a lot of great titles that you guys came up with. Thomas says, Turin, really love your new tourney formats, the wheel and the big armies. Yeah, we're going to be going back to those. ECL, of course, is always going to be my standard format. It's like more traditional stuff and... yeah, Graveling's just checking. I guess there was a little bit of lag. I think we're all good. Seems good. But of course, I will be experimenting with other formats like over the course of the week. And, you know, I'll have a dedicated stream schedule relatively soon. Yeah, hey, Drees, maybe after the stream today, I'll do the tutorial. I mean, I've gotten the basics down. Like, I understand, like, how you have to have, like, a claim on things and how to fabricate claims and, you know, what the different buildings do and, like, you know, how your council works and the different effects they can have. Like, I understand the basics. But, yeah. Yeah, the first time I fired up. Okay, so we're gonna have Dark Elves. Crabling is gonna go Dark Elves against Zachary Saints Tomb Kings. The first time I fired up Crusader Kings, I played in the earliest time period available, which is the Great Viking. It's like I think it's like right after the Great Viking invasion. And I played as like a really small like Irish culture that was like really weak, and I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be great. And then like I remember like 30 minutes in the game, and like a Viking doomstack of like 1,500 Vikings came, and I couldn't even recruit more than like 500 troops. Like it just wouldn't let me. So I just felt like I had no chance. Yeah, I guess you have to like get allies, right? Like how I solved that in other playthroughs is I would obviously through like marrying off your family members to nearby powerful characters, they'll come and help you if you're attacked. You can like call them to war. So that was something that really helped. It's an interesting game. Yeah. I like it. I much prefer Total War because battles is my jam. But it's cool. I think Crusader Kings 3 is a good game. I do think it's good. I do think it is good. The Night Father says, but don't know if I should improve my battles by playing multiplayer, improve them, then hit... No, dude, honestly, Night Father, I would just do both, man. Don't, like, feel stressed. Just join up in our Discord, like, find some casual games to play. Just have some fun, laugh with your friends. That's that. Yeah, like, don't stress it, man. And maybe you can take some time before you join a tournament, or if you don't care about just getting crumped and learning from it, then you could join. But yeah, don't stress it, man. Yeah. yeah, Starlin, that's very accurate. All right, so it looks like Crabling is ready. He must have had a preset build of some sort. This is the first game of the best of 3. Obviously, the bottom side of the bracket is still being determined. If I am to take a look at the bottom side, we got a donation we have a couple coming in from Vinand, or what? Winand? How did you tell me to say that? I got to check your message again. Thank you so much. He says CK3 Steam would be good too. Variety is the spice of life. Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. We have a donation from Prebi Suave Hippe. He says, what is this? A donation for ants? Dude, nice Zoolander reference. I dig it, man. I dig it. Thank you so much, dude. And oh my god, Grim Soka going deep as well. Dude, Grim Soka just dropped 300 fat ones, dudes. We haven't even had a game yet. What's going on here? Jesus, Grim Soka, thank you so much, man. Holy shit, that's generous. And yeah, I know you've been working a lot, so hopefully it's not too much strain on you, brother. But I'm here to entertain. We'll keep you entertained this afternoon at least, and then perhaps we can all go watch the UFC later tonight. Dude, Grim, thank you, man. Jesus, I don't know what to say. Looks like we might be able to move sooner than we thought. With how generous you guys are. Turin is worth it. No, I'm not on Twitch, Finley. I just stream here on YouTube. It's my jam. YouTube is my family, man. Christian Bender says, greetings, Turin. Thank you for the 100 DKK, Christian. He says, here's a limerick for you. Okay, let me read this before I actually read it out loud just to make sure it's not offensive. Okay, that's fine. He says, there once was a rat named Maven who wanted to find a safe haven. She went for a stalk, ran into an orc. Oh, it did not end well for that Skaven. That was pretty good, man. Christian Bender, I like that. I'm always careful when people ask me to read things, because in the past I've read some pretty not horribly offensive, but things that are probably shouldn't have been reading those on stream. Hey, Christian, thank you so much, man. And Grim, dude, you guys are aces, man. And yes, Hadries, thank you for the happy birthday wishes. Don't worry, I know the Condom Wolf advertisement's here. How could I miss that? And we're going in deep. We're going in deep. All right, guys. This is it. It is time. Let us go ahead and take a look at the armies here of Crabling. Crabling going to be playing the Druki here. As far as his army goes, it's going to be Dread Spears and Bleak Swords in the entire front line. I don't think anything else other than that. You're fighting skeletons. You don't really need elite troops. Now, he's got Witch Elves in the back. Witch Elves, of course, are a great rampage piece. That's really what they're for. Not bad at buzzsawing through lightly armored infantry also, but of course, where Witch Elves really shine is rampaging down a Tomb Scorpion or preventing cycle charging from the Hekar Horsemen with their rampage effect. These ladies can seriously do some work for sure. And again, thank you guys all for your donations. Grimsoka, Christian, Hippie, Winand, Aaron Wallace King. Dude, thank you guys so much. That's going to be double. Looks like Dark Shards, actually. Pretty interesting. Normally you see in this matchup, or at least in general, I feel like most Dark Elf players really like to use repeater crossbow spam, right? With the horses. Because they're a little bit faster, they can reposition. But, you know, obviously Dark Shards, their DPS will be higher if they're able to sit and shoot. So, very excited to see this. Now, to protect those, he does have a light cav contingent. Crabling does have the Cold Wind Knights, and also the Slaanesha's Harvesters here on the other side. So, yeah, very cool army here from the Druki. And now for the forces of the Tomb Kings, led by... Is that the Imperishable? It would appear. No, Tomb King. Zach B. Sane going to be coming in hot with Skeleton Horseman Archers. Looks like he's got 3 of those bad boys. Front line here is going to be Tomb Guard. Yeah, big old thick Tomb Guard, which will, of course, handedly defeat Dread Spears and Bleak Swords. And also probably do very well against Witch Elves. He's got Skeleton Archers in the back, 3 of his own. Such are the Imperishable. No, Tomb King, sorry. Nehekar Horsemen, which are going to be only 2. Yeah, really, I mean, a lot of the gold in this army, like, obviously isn't too heavily invested in constructs. You know, Tomb Guard are not the cheapest unit, right? So a lot of Tomb Guard really taking up a lot of the cost. Archers, and the caster does have Spirit Leech and Soul Blight. So Soul Blight basically synergizes with the Archers to lower armor, who, of course, they don't have good AP, right? So using Soul Blight on their target of choice is always going to be pretty efficient. So Zach just grabbing some water real quick. No problem, brother. You grab that and do it to it. Fresh Kaiser, we reached 100K relatively soon. Recently, yeah, it was a couple weeks ago. Really exciting time. I think it was my first ECL stream back after I got my hand surgery. We hit 100K. It was a really cool moment. I think a lot of you guys were there. Witch Elves shine with the booty, says Grimsoka. Oh, they're here for you, man. They're going to try and rampage in your honor. We'll see how it goes. We will see how it goes indeed. Marathi flying above in the sky. She's a very powerful choice, of course. She has anti-large and armor piercing, actually. And also lowers the combat stats of nearby units. Could be pretty effective against the Tomb King if she's able to find it alone. I mean, yeah, lowering the Tomb King stats by, what, 18 in total, and he's rocking 34 melee attack. That's going to be a pretty substantial debuff, which will put them down to, like, what, like 12 melee attack or something like that? It's pretty good for sure. Dark Shards are like that old team that never wins anything, but you can't help root for him. Yeah, we'll see, though. I mean, maybe Crabling's got some schemes. I mean, Crabling is a top-tier player, and he's been able to tear through his competitors in today's tournament, and I would assume using perhaps the same tactics. So we will see. Now, this is an interesting one, guys. I was actually talking to a couple folks before the tournament started in Discord, and we were talking about how the Tomb Kings, you would think that Dark Elves would counter Tomb Kings with the amount of AP missiles they have, but actually in reality, for some reason, Tomb Kings are considered a counter and generally speaking have an advantageous matchup here against Dark Elves. So, you know, if history has shown anything in tournament play, this is certainly a matchup that does favor the Tomb Kings a little bit. In my experience, and I think most top-level players would probably agree. And, you know, but the thing is, Crabling picked into this. Like, he picked Dark Elves into Tomb King, so he must have some sort of an answer here, or must be relatively comfortable to this matchup and, you know, not really mind that situation. So, here comes the Dark Elves. Advancing on, Slaanesha's Harvesters doing a little bit of poke and stroke, but they're 15 armor, no missile resist of any sort, no shields. They do not want to be taking that fire. So really, you know, as far as Crabling goes, just hide the Harvesters back and use the Dark Shards to counter fire here against Skeleton Horsemen. Skeleton Horsemen, 140 range, Dark Shards, 125, so with good micro, Zach B. Sane should be able to stay out of range and be relatively comfy here. You can see, as a matter of fact, Zach B. Sane is going to be pulling his army back, and the reason why he's doing that is just to buy more time for his skirmishers, and, I mean, it's worth it. It's paying dues, man. You can see here that the Skeleton Horsemen Archers are able to take a pretty big chunk of HP off the Sisters of Singing Doom back here. Sorry, guys, I just ate a fat burrito, and it's, you know, it's saying hello, to say the least. So Wand of Crydon's going to be coming down from Wrathy, which is a Doombolt's effect. So you can see it's an activated item. No, is that Wand or is that the actual spell? It looks like it actually hit the Skeleton Spearman, did some pretty decent damage as well. But it looks like the intended target was the Tomb Kings here. And Dark Elves definitely want to advance. Are these shielded Dark Shards? They are actually. Okay, so the shielded Dark Shards will certainly be much more efficient against these Skeleton Archers, whereas obviously the regular variant would take much more damage. But yeah, kind of a cool idea. Maybe a very interesting tech piece. Maybe he's expecting Skeleton Archers, and perhaps maybe he studied Zach B. Sane's previous tournaments. Both of these players have actually made it to the grand finals, or semifinals, I should say, of ECL qualifiers in the top 4. I believe Zach B. Sane has played in the top 8 before. I think Crabling has also. So these guys are both pretty serious contenders, to say the least. Yeah, Tomb King certainly pretty durable against Dark Shards, but the Dark Shards don't really care about killing the infantry. The infantry can be dealt with by Witch Elves and cycle charging, but they're going to want to pound down constructs. But there's really not that much construct play here. Over here on the flank, Skeleton Horseman Archers take a little bit of damage. You can see those bad boys do get crumped pretty good, down to 38 models, but more importantly, down to about 40% HP. Now the frontline fighting is underway. Tomb Guard certainly will have a big advantage here against the Bleak Swords. Combat stat comparison, 35, 31, 28. 32, 41, 42. Pretty big buff there for the Tomb Guard. And of course, they're unbreakable because they are undead. little bit aggressive here with the Sisters of Singing Doom. They're getting wrecked pretty good. Crabbling, of course, knows they're a high priority target and is going to be gatting those ladies down. I definitely think keeping them back as a rampage tool would have been a little bit better. Granted, if they get in and do kill some skeleton archers, it's not going to be bad, but nice overextension here. You can see that there are some Nehekar horsemen in reserve who scream forward and block up the Sisters of Singing Doom. And then from there, the skeleton archer should be able to fall back. Now on the flank, you can see here these Slanesh's Harvesters are able to get a good engagement. They catch a couple of these guys. And the Dark Shards are getting some solid shots. I mean, they're really wrecking the skeleton archers, no surprise there, but yeah, something to consider too is that, you know, if the Witch Elves are gone and it's just Bleak Swords and Chaff, it will be relatively difficult to clear out all these Tomb Guard, and it seems like they're going to be fairly numerous as we do progress through this game here. Is the game on silent? Let me check. Aha, it is. Good catch. We caught it early. Thank you, guys. I was actually recording a list video, so yeah, good catch. Really appreciate that, guys. You guys are aces, man. So good play here from Marathi. Marathi's going into the back line, gooning out this Lich Priest. Marathi's a very good assassin, especially with her Doom Bolt effect. So the Lich Priest of Death certainly took some damage, but she is forced to pull out. That's what she said, because the Tomb King is lurking nearby. Now, some of the Dark Shards are actually engaged in melee combat. Not really sure how that happened. Perhaps a bit of a miss micro, but my guess is that the Dark Shards of Crabbling were forced to overextend to get in range of the Blessed Legion of Demonetization. Now they're being forced back. Balance of power rapidly pulling into the favor of the Tomb Kings. You can see the Tomb Guard front line is holding. There weren't too many good targets for Dark Shards. Like, Dark Shards aren't meant for trading like missiles with baseline archer units. Crossbows are more meant for like, or at least Dark Shards with their short range are more meant for pounding constructs. And, you know, Zach B. Sane didn't really give Crabbling too many good targets. Now, the game isn't over yet. There's still Witch Elves here and obviously some good engagements, but a nice Ushapti summon is going to be great here. Man, that's going to be rough. Right on top of the two Dark Shards, and yeah, the Coldlow Knights can go fight it, but then if they do, there's Skeleton Spearmen nearby. It's just not a good situation for these Dark Shards. Marathi's going to have to make some big plays for sure for the Dark Elves to get back in this game. We will see. Yeah, Tomb Guard performing very, very well here in this early game. You know, things like Chariots, of course, can be very good against Tomb Guard, like things that are just good at killing infantry in general, but this army was very heavily focused, it appears, on sniping out constructs and whatnot. Yeah, but Marathi going in, helping out against Nehekar Horsemen. The Harvesters should be able to win this fight. Balance Power is holding on. Like, Dark Elves took a pretty quick hit early in the game, but I mean, a couple good focus fires, maybe sniping out this Deathcaster could be very pertinent. And here you can see a bit of a Last Samurai attempts coming in. Dark Shards, they have their crossbows lined up. They should be ripping some shots here into the Lich Priest. And that Lich Priest is at negative 50 HP, negative 15 leadership. Yeah, he's done. He's going to crumble down 100% 6. And down goes the caster. Nice grab there, but not before the Dark Shards are taken out. And you can see these Skeleton Archers are just pretty much having a field day over the Dark Elf lines. And the Ushapti summoned to the back line, just you know, tossing the metaphorical salad here of these Dark Shards, and those bad boys are running. And yeah, that is that. So here comes Marathi flying about. Slanesh's Harvesters being focused down by a torrent of Skeleton Archer fire. Dread Spears, the last of their people, fighting in the front line. Marathi trying desperately to do something to get back in this game. Initially using a Soul Stealer, actually, here on the Tomb King, doing some decent work. Pretty sure that's going to be it, though. I don't see any chance for the Dark Elves to come back. I mean, the Witch Elves did almost nothing. They just got, like, massacred by archers, and then, you know, seemed to trade pretty inefficiently as they were charged down by Nehekar Horsemen and a couple other assets like that, so. And that's that here. Marathi, scrappy. I have no idea how the bounce power is still, like, this even. I mean, I guess if Marathi were able to just go, like, full Super Saiyan and, like, maybe take out the Tomb King, reunite some of the Dark Elf forces, Soul Stealer some blobs, maybe so. Yeah, it's gonna be a tall order for sure, man. A really, really tall order. I mean, looking around, what do we have? We have a couple Dread Spears. Dark Shards coming back online, certainly nice here. Some Dark Shards coming back over here as well. But I mean, Skeleton Spearmen, again, all the baseline Tomb King's infantry do have silver shields. Though they have low armor, but they don't care. I mean, like, the armor piercing, whatever, right? This is like a great trade for Skeleton Spearmen. You can see the Ushapti in their ceremonial rest. Yeah, those bad boys having their problem here. Where else all of his bounce of power? Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, I guess Marathi must count for a lot. And I suppose there's, you know, ammunition's kind of blown. Many of the Tomb King's army are just like chaff units, aside from the Tomb Guard. And here, the big lord up in the mount here, the Tomb King, still in decent shape. 3,900 HP. Marathi going to be flying over on her mighty steed, Sulafetch, and here she comes. Putting the melee attack down to 16 here of this Tomb King. Getting a little bit of damage. She's certainly hot on its tail. It's going to be running and fighting amongst its spears because Marathi is not going to be happy to get poked by spears for sure. She's back up in the sky. We still have some Dread Spears on the far side. Crabbling doing a very good job scrapping. I mean, is he going to be able to get a pick over here? It looks like even here he's struggling, right? Like the Skeleton Spearmen just can't be dealt with. Dark Shards are running. Slanesh's Harvesters just like pieced out and shattered. They're like, screw this shit. We're going back to hang out with our boy Slanesh. And yeah, Dreadspear's doing their thing there as well. I have no idea where the bounce power is coming from for this Arc Elf army, actually. Some units have a very weird, like, pertinence, but, you know, relating to the bounce of power. Marathi getting crumped right here, though. The Amulet of Fasa, look at that, lowering the missile parry in armor, which is quite cool. There for a second, but yeah, Marathi's just going to get dumpstered right now. No way she can deal with spears and also this big old angry Egyptian fantasy cat. Yeah, there you go. You're having a bad time, lady. Back to Nagaron with you. And we'll see you guys on the other side. All right, guys. That is game one. Your boy, Zach B. Sane, claiming the first victory here in this duel of duels. And now we will go to the next match here in this series. Thank you guys all so much for joining. And let's go ahead and fire this beast up. All right. Zach B. Sane is going to go up 1-0 here. Oh, there's the scorecard. Very good. Certainly a lot bigger than Marathi could handle, yes. Let all the phallic references flow. For the next map, let's go ahead and put him on River Amazon. Yeah, man, that matchup's really hard for Dark Elves. Crabling played a good game, but I just feel like it's so hard. Steel Bear says, man, I have work to do. You're corrupting me, Turin, and I like it. That's what I'm talking about, man. Welcome to the party, dude. Hang out, have a good time with the lads. We're all enjoying each other's company. We are on the River Amazon for the next map, so let me go ahead and head on over to Challenge and see who has advanced on to the bottom side. Okay, so on the bottom side of the bracket, we have Zablaski. No surprises there. He pretty much makes it almost every time he attempts. Facing off against Vicious Satsuma. So let's head back to the bracket. All right, we're good. So yes, this is going to be your boy Zablaski. Well played, Zablaski. Always a pleasure casting your games, my friend. Hope you are doing well. And then it's going to be Vicious Satsuma, of course. One of the many top-tier players here in today's tournament. Dark Lord of the Greenskins. And I believe that's how he spells his name. It's good. Webcam's a little bit funky. There we go. Cool. All right, so that is going to be our next round. Ryan Vargo, welcome to the patent pending Dukes of Haggard. The Haggard Legion. We'll come up with another name of sorts, but Ryan Vargo, thank you for becoming a channel member, dude. Yeah, much appreciated. All right. So for the next one, we have Crabbling on the Empire. He hasn't done his picks and bans yet, though, so we'll see what he picks. Oh, man. Yeah, thank you, man, for Ryan for becoming a member. Much appreciated, dude. Grim Soka, I've been really good. Recovering from surgery, it's a slow process, but it seems like everything's going in the right direction. There's some days where I feel like, you know, like oh man, it's like not better, but then it like gets better. Like it recovers and I progress and I get stronger. I can lift things I couldn't lift before. You know, so it's a slow process, Grim, but it's getting better. I hope like in the next like 2 or 3 months, I'll be like, it's definitely longer than I thought it would be. But, you know, doctors always kind of, you know, like, oh yeah, 8 weeks. But in reality, when you talk to the physical therapist, they're kind of like, yeah, it's going to be more like, you know, 12 to 16 weeks before you're like where you want to be. So it's good though. Like, I'm just happy to be making progress, man. Who's this clean shaven son of Nurgle? Romulan dog, how you doing, man? The Turintide. The Turinators, I know. Can you see the scars? Yeah, for sure. You guys want to see the scars? All right, hold on. Let me make sure it's all lined up here. So matchup is still being decided. So yeah, we got a little bit of time to kill. All right. So 2 scars right here. There's this one. The smaller one at the bottom, that was for the flexor tendon, and there was also a cyst growing inside of my arm there. So that's they had to remove a cyst. So there was 2 surgeries and 2 procedures in that one. The one up top, that's a carpal tunnel surgery, so that's very classic. They just basically relieve the nerve sheath, and then the last one was right here. This is the ulnar tunnel. So they basically there's a nerve that runs through there and goes like up into your hand. And I had severe compression in like all of those areas. I had severe compression in the ulnar tunnel. It was the worst right here, actually. It was really pinching my nerves down. And my carpal tunnel was pretty bad, too. So, but I'm one of the few people who... Let me check here. Okay, so they're getting the bands. Some people, when you go get a nerve conduction test, they don't show up on the test. There's like my physician was telling me there's like a 20 to 30% margin of people who just don't show up on it for some reason. It's like an anatomical thing. And I was in that. So I was misdiagnosed for many years, whereas I had serious nerve compression for like 10 years undiagnosed. But... it's getting better, so. Yeah. Yay, it's a fish. What a blessed way to begin a Sunday. I know, Falcon. The haircut was needed, man. I feel like a new person, I'm telling you. Like, the mullet was fun for a while, but it just gets so haggard. Yay, it's a fish. Thank you so much. We have a donation from Let's Eat a Person. Well, quite an interesting approach to life, but thank you so much, Let's Eat a Person, for your $20 donation. Hope you're doing well, and yeah. Yeah, Lady Turin loves my scars. Scars are sexy. I mean, I feel like scars in combat, or like, you know, some sort of a masculine thing, but like having a wrist injury from like playing too much video games. Although, I don't know. It's in the eye of the beholder, I guess. Edward, thank you for the $5 donation. He says, I can lift things I couldn't lift before. They are turning me into a superhuman. I'm down, dude. I've been watching The Boys, actually. Avenard, how you doing? Hope all's well over in Moscow, my friend. So, oh no! Oh, Crabling didn't ban dwarves! Oh, Crabling picked Empire, and he banned Dark Elves and Lizardmen. And he did not ban dwarves. Oh my god, Crabling just counterpicked himself so hard. Dude, that's pretty rough for Crabling. I mean, 2 games in a row, he's stuck in matchups which were like heavily unbalanced. Or at least, you know, substantially unbalanced. Yeah. You could always cover the scars with tattoos. Nah, I'm cool with them, man. I don't mind. I don't mind. That's very true. And, you know, in all honesty, though, the injury, to a large extent, if you guys really want the reality of it, it came from riding a motorcycle and lifting weights. Those were the big factors. So, yeah. I'm the first cyborg player. I know. I'm like Commander Data from the Next Generation. Yeah, The Boys is pretty fun. We've watched the first 2 episodes. Yeah, it's a great show. Lady Turin and I are both like huge fans of Karl Urban. Like, you know, he's just great in everything. He's in Dread, Lord of the Rings, you name it. Like, he's just awesome. So, yeah, no worries, man. Edward Backus, congrats on getting through the surgery. Thanks, man. I'm almost 2 months out. So, it'll be 2 months in 4 days. Because I had the surgery on July 9th, and it's almost September 9th, obviously. So, dude, Edward Backus, man. Big 50. Hard-hitting 50 buckaroos, dude. Thank you so much. Yeah. Dude, I don't know what Crabling is thinking. Edward Backus, if you have any feedback on what you think the schemes are here, we'd love to hear it. Thank you again for your donation, man. I have no idea what Crabling's going to do. Like, this is such a hard matchup. I, like, have only been able to win this one when I'm much better than my opponent. Like, that's... Like, I'm playing a newer player, and I'm just, like, I just know the game better. I can, like, out-micro them. But, like, even still, it's, like, a hard fight, right? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he's going to do here. All right, so let's go ahead and switch back to the lobby here. Very good. So you guys can see now. Yeah, Karl Urban's the man. And speaking of Karl Urban, he's in the Star Trek movies also. No, Steel Bear. My hands were... I used to have really strong grip and like incredibly strong forearms and everything before my hand problem. I was in an arm wrestling club. I used to like lift a ton of weights. I was pretty serious for sure. But then I had like, once I got the nerve damage, which went undiagnosed, it pretty much like crippled my whole right extremity for a long time. But we're on the path to recovery now, so it's all good. You can always hard cheat dwarf. Yeah, but Zablasky, I feel like they still have a huge advantage. Like this map also has like places for the dwarves to abuse terrain if they want to. Not too badly though. River Amixon is like... So Romulan Dog in chat with the expert analysis saying the key to this matchup is to just bring more Doom Wheels, which certainly if the Empire could field Doom Wheels, I think they would be very, very good against dwarves, but perhaps we'll see the dreaded mortar wagons. I don't know. Yeah. I have a video of me arm wrestling if you guys want to see it. I could probably slap that up on stream. I'd have to download it from Facebook. Wonder if it's still there. Dude, I really hope Karl Urban plays Dredd. He was like such a good Judge Dredd. Holy shit. I mean, they had this Stallone Judge Dredd movie in the 80s, which was just so haggard. But Karl Urban was Judge Dredd. It was perfect. Hero of Rome, I agree with you. I actually like the Hellstorms against dwarves occasionally. Yeah. Grim Soka, he says, I just got a promotion at work, got a substantial pay raise. Hell yeah, dude. Keep that good fortune rolling, man. Share it with all. Grim, dude, congratulations, man. Happy to hear that. Happy to hear that. Yeah, my uncle, we were talking, I remember, on Discord a while back, and my uncle does the same job as you, or used to before he retired, and he definitely made some good money. Keep it up, man. Yeah, the Stallone Dredd movie was, like, corny and fun, but it wasn't, like... Yeah. Yeah, Lena Headey was a really good villain. in the Dread movie. The Dread movie was great. I was really sad there weren't more sequels. She's a pass. Yeah, it was so good. And like the Dread soundtrack was amazing too. No pizza, just borscht. Dude, Cody Bear, I love borscht. No, there's a place downtown Glendale near where I live, and there's like this. I believe it's a. I don't know the nationality of the folks who work there, but they make a really good vegetable borscht. Lady Turin has articulated that she thinks it's like kind of a Ukrainian style borscht. It's really, really good. It's incredibly delicious. Yeah, urban. I am the law. Yeah, I know. It's so good. The whole Dread movie. All right, guys. And now let us see what the Dreadlord of the Empire shall bring. Crabling apparently was ready for this matchup. Maybe he was baiting his opponent into it because he's so confident. But as far as the armies go, we have Marcus Wolfhart. And for the gun line, no, it's going to be handgunners for sure. Free Company wouldn't be very good here. They don't have the AP. Maybe like the ROR one. Yeah. It's 5 handgunners. Spearmen are just going to hold. They don't really care about winning their fights. They just hold with their high melee defense. Handgunners hit hard, obviously, against armor. Triple Great Cannon and the Sunmaker. Holy shit. We have a Firecaster. So what he's going to do with the Firecaster is use the piercing bolts to nuke probably artillery stations. Like if there's a dwarf cannon, he can use it to kill the cannon crews. And that's really it. It's a pretty awesome build. Borscht is like a vegetable soup. It's like made it with beets, I believe. Yeah. Yeah. Borscht is multi-Slav. Yeah, I think like borscht is kind of a thing amongst yeah, because I've had Polish borscht. I've had, you know, kind of the, obviously the Ukrainian borscht. It's all very, very good. It's like a cabbage stew, I think. Yeah, perhaps. So for the forces of the dwarves, it's going to be dwarf warriors in the front line. So these guys ready to go deep for Grungni. And yeah, they'll beat spearmen. They'll hold their own, obviously. He's got handgunners and crossbowmen. Crossbowmen are thunderers, or quarrelers, I should say. Are very good at trading with Empire handgunners. And as are thunderers, they have shields and, of course, are a little bit more durable. Dragonback Slayers, cannons. I don't know, maybe Zach Bisane didn't bring enough cannons. Here he does have a Rune Lord who's going to be using the Missile Resist rune to buff up his cannons, but I think the Empire is going to be able to force the dwarves forward, which, man, if Crabling's able to win this matchup, I will be super impressed. On top of that, there's a Gyrocopter, the Brimstone Gun, and I think on the far side of the battlefield we have something similar. Yeah, looks like a Gyrocopter with a Brimstone Gun. And that is it. It's going to be fun, guys. No matter who wins this matchup, nobody has fun, says Dactor. And there can be meat in the soup too. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, the ones I've had are all vegetables. It's pretty good stuff. Man, I love Slavic food. It's so good. My experience is mostly limited to Polish food, but dude, I love it. It's so freaking good. All right, so the Amber Bow is going to be used to snipe the Dwarven Cannon. So yeah, that's going to be the first thing to be done, is sniping out the Dwarven Cannons, I would imagine, because once the cannons are sniped, the dwarves have to advance and take gunfire and cannons and all that sort of fun stuff. Hellstorm Rocket Battery is really, really good here because their dwarves are so tightly packed. You can see here that we do, of course, have the cannons. And the cannons themselves are, you know, tightly packed, but there's also Slayers back here, so there's going to be collateral damage. So here comes the Great Cannons, a Fireball going in as well. A very clever build here from Crabling. Gyrocopters won't be able to do too much, I would imagine. Good luck, have fun, being dropped by both players. And yeah, even if the Hellstorm misses its initial target, it's still hitting the Slayers in the back, and the Dwarven Cannons are getting wrecked pretty good. Well, it seems like the Empire is getting the advantage here in the early trades. We have a Sterlin's Revenge pop out of the trees. Look at these guys. I didn't see them before. So stealth that they were even hidden from me. Jumping out and ambushing the Gyrocopters, and the other Gyrocopters like can't even get into range, because if they do, there's like 5 handgunners just waiting for them. So far, definitely very advantageous here for the Empire, but it often feels that way if you're going to be going for like a mass cannon build like this. But you know, the dynamic of the battle really does change when things get close quarters. And yeah, that cannon crew 100% wrecked. The Runesmith is like, screw this shit, I'm going home. He's going to be taking his Slayers and you know, his boys and running up to fight. So now the Dwarven Thunders are going to be returning fire. Obviously, the forces of Crabling are going to be focused firing the Dwarven Thunders down. Of course, some of the more answers that can punch back. And the Quarrelers will be in range as well. Dwarf Warriors here on the far side going to be chasing down the Sterlin's Revenge. Should be able to catch those guys quite happily. We will see. And yes, you can see 25 armor. They're going to be okay in combat, but Dwarf Warriors and their armor value should be pretty scary. But yeah, the Empire's doing some brutal damage so far. Cannon's really doing some work. Both Dwarven Cannons are offline. Could this perhaps be the rare sighting of an Empire victory here from Crabling? Perhaps the Dwarves have grown complacent in their past victories. Marcus Wolfhart's going to be running in to engage in melee versus the Dwarf Warriors here. I would imagine maybe just trying to stall and buy time for the handgunners, but Zach Bisane with some good micro, going to be force pathing the Dwarves past their target and advancing them on the handgunners here. And so far, that Hellstorm Rocket Battery, man, the frickin' Sunmaker is going ham. It doesn't kill a ton of models against Dwarves, but obviously it still does some pretty good HP damage, you can see. So the Rune Lord is advancing. He's in open field a little bit. If the Empire wants to try and focus the Rune Lord down, they certainly could, but I think killing the handgunners the Thunderers as well as the crossbowmen, it's going to be a much more prudent decision. So Marcus Wolfhard does use the Hunter Snare on the Dragonback Slayers. Definitely a good play because they're fast, they're furious. Definitely Vin Diesel up in the toe. And they can chase you down. I think maybe actually switching the Sunmaker onto the Dragonback Slayers wouldn't be bad. It looks like there's going to be a Searing Doom, or, oh, a Piercing Bolt's going down. That does some pretty good damage and also clips the Miners there. Very, very nice cast. Up in the sky, Rune of Wrath and Ruin going down to the Bright Wizard. The Dragonback Slayers are charging into the back line full chub. And it looks like all the Empire Cannons are more or less still in line, as is the Sunmaker. I would have liked to have maybe seen like one Empire Knight in this build just to kind of sweep your back line or something, but yeah, I guess it's pretty expensive, huh? But this is where it gets a little bit scary. Like, even though the Empire is in an advantageous position, like the Dwarf tenacity and durability is very, very tough to bring down for the Empire. And you can see many of the handgunners are being cleaved asunder. Slayers are certainly very dangerous. You can see an unbreakable bearded Sister of Slaughter. Yeah, it's a very accurate assessment here of our boys. And the handgunners are being taken apart, but there's also healthy crossfire from the Empire. So handgunners able to shoot these dwarves in the back. Very treacherous, dishonorable indeed, but you know, the dwarves are, you know, they're the ones attacking, so I guess it's fair play. Now in the fourth quarter of the game, check this out. Zach Hussein coming in with the gyrocopters, going in after the Great Cannons, able to shut down one of those bad boys in tandem with, oh, it looks like he actually attacked the gyrocopter, and maybe the Empire friendly fired its own stuff. Slayers chasing down handgunners, Slayers chasing down handgunners right here. Marcus Wolfhard winding up another fat shot right into the hide here of the Rune Lord. Appears to do almost no damage, which is unfortunate. And now blasting charges are hitting the Empire right in the dome piece, and this Empire cannon line is looking a little bit scared back here. I mean, this one's about to be taken out, I would imagine, by the Dragonback Slayers. Like, all the handguns are running, and the dwarves, like, you see what I'm saying? Like, things can go so well for the Empire, but then, like, the dwarves just find a way to scrap their way back in this matchup. It's pretty insane for sure. Bright Wizard chasing down the gyrocopter with the brimstone gun over here. Handgunners and mass exodus as they're being chased down by dwarf warriors, which they pretty much have no chance of dealing with. Slayers are also, you know, fully chubbed here for Grungni, and they're going back here and hunting down these handgunners as well. Slayers are fast. They have 40 speed compared to handgunners, which are in the low 30s, I think. Actually, 36 speed on Free Company. I think base handgunners are like 33 or something, like baseline infantry speed. And yeah, I'm not sure, man. I think the dwarves got this. Like, it's looking pretty over to me. Like, the entire position of the Empire is heavily compromised. Maybe you do need one sweeper unit. You need something like a, I don't know, maybe like a Demogryph Knight, like with lances, like one thing to sweep that back line, because it really just kind of fell apart when the Empire back line just you know, kind of went down here. So when the cannons were finally caught. So you have a couple of handgunners back online. Marcus Wolfhard's doing his thing, and he's doing a good job. I mean, he's been able to snipe, but yeah, like the Rune Lord's going to be able to chase him, and like Marcus has bad AP values in melee. There's also a bunch of Angry Thunders attacking him as well, so Marcus Wolfhard is going to be forced to run, and this Rune Lord probably will be able to defeat him in combat. So, dude, it's such a hard matchup for Empire, and, you know, big props to Crabling for trying this. Man's definitely got some balls, but it's such a hard matchup, man. It's so difficult, and it's going to be army losses soon. I mean, the Dwarves still have functional gun lines, too. They have a Thunderer here, a Quarreler. The Empire's kind of scattered to the winds. If he were able to come back, that'd be pretty legendary for sure, but the Slayers are just such a pain. Such a pain indeed. Zablasky in chat saying you win by spreading dwarfs out and killing them one by one. Yeah, for sure. You can't take head-on engagements with them. It usually just goes very badly for the Empire. Dwarves are one of those weird factions that are just like, they have like some really bad ones, but they also have some matchups in which they're just so dominant because of like how, I guess, 2-0 victory here over Crabling. Very, very convincing performance, but, you know, Crabling, you know, kind of counterpicked himself in both games, in my opinion. And still did well, considering. I mean, you got to give him props for that, but really, I think the tail of the tape here was counterpicking himself. Outriders are okay, for sure. Yeah, Grimsoka. Pistoliers might be better. It's so tough. Because if you go with Greatswords, they just get focused down by the gun line too quickly. Yeah. Okay, looks like we got a little bit of lag spike. Seems like it's okay now. I think he needed the dreaded wagons. Yes. So let's go to the bracket. All right. And Zach Hussein will be advancing on to the grand finals. Oh yeah, boys. It's time. We got Zablasky versus Vicious Satsuma. GG, well played. And see you in finals, Zach. Crabling saying GG, a good sport, good champ as always. Big props to him, man. Very nice guy in the community. Yeah, just don't play this. Don't play the matchup. It's just, it's so hard. I understand though, like that's like a style point victory, you know? Crabling saying good luck in finals. So let's go ahead and get Satsuma. I'll tag these bad boys. experiencing a little bit of lag on my end. I see some frames perhaps being dropped, so just beware, my friends. There might be a little bit of something going on. Zach Busane, and he is facing off against Vicious. All right, guys, let's get you in the lobby. Very good. Solid indeed, my friends. All right, Zach, thank you. We'll see you in the finals, brother. Now we have our next best of 3, so when the players join, we'll get this party started. It's really stupid, too, because if you're streaming, you actually can't change your bitrate to match your new internet speed because it actually restarts the whole stream. It's so dumb. Oh, man, such jank. Chaos can do well for sure. Chaos has a couple good matchups. Like, Chaos is good against Tomb Kings, and who do we have on this side? Let's see. It is going to be Zablaski. Also, guys, are you experiencing a little bit of lag? Sebastian, that's fine. How long did it take me to do my hair before the stream? Probably like 15 to 30 seconds. Like, basically, I just wet my hair, and then I just put a little bit of gel in it. Or mousse, or whatever the hell it's called, and that's it. And, yeah, I don't wear makeup. I actually have seen a lot of streamers wear makeup, like even dudes. But I never have. It's pretty common in esports, too. Like, I've been to a couple live esport events, and, like, all the casters, man or woman, are adorned in makeup before their casts, which is, yeah. I mean, it's just like TV business, right? So it's more or less the same. Hey, Zablaski is here, and Satsuma is here as well. So we got Zablaski on this side. And then we have Satsuma. I'm just going to put Satsuma for short because it'll fit better in the name box. Back up here. Cool. And for the maps, map set. Cool. So the players will do their picks and bans now. Yeah, no, the mullet was fun. It was fun while it lasted. It was done while it lasted. Holy shit, I don't know how much money that is, but that looks like a lot. 10,000 rubles, holy shit. Sir Pants-a-Lot. With a fat 10,000 rubles, which I would imagine comes out to like $100, $200 or something like that. Jesus, man. He says, hey, Turin, nice seeing you get better and returning to casting and playing. Been watching you since glorious times of 5K subscribers. Dude, you were a true OG. Going back to 2016. Late 2015. Man, that is, yeah, that's over $100. Thank you so much, man. Your content always brings me much enjoyment and entertainment. Congrats for reaching 100K and hope to see you grow more in the future from the land of borscht and kolbasa. Is that kielbasa or kolbasa? With love? Is it like said differently? I'm sorry if I got it wrong. Dude, thank you, Sir Pants-a-Lot. I really do appreciate that. And I'll keep going as long as I can, man. As long as like you guys keep enjoying this shit, man, I'll keep doing YouTube for as long as my my old hand holds up. Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. You are a good sir indeed. Super Haggard makeup on for the next stream? Oh god, no. Please no. Don't do this to me. Don't wish this evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Sir Pants-a-Lot, man. Dude, thank you so much. I feel like I don't deserve it, but I'll take it, man. Is it... Yeah, how do I say that? Because I know kielbasa is probably Polish. Is it kolbasa? Is that how I would say that? Is that like the another pronunciation of that? That's how... Kolbasa? Kolbasa. Borscht. So it's just borscht. Okay. Kolbasa is more Russian. Polish people say kielbasa. Okay, got it. I'm learning the ways. I'm learning the ways. Someday when the Rona comes down, perhaps Lady Turin and I will make our way over east to Russia. We've always thought it'd be fun to visit. Got it. Okay. Thank you guys for clarifying. I'm learning, man. It's something really... Man, it's like the average American, I would say... As it pertains to like the average American's like knowledge of like international geography and like culture, like it's pretty bad for the average American. But ever since I've done YouTube, like doing Total War YouTube and like how diverse our audience is, like I've been able to learn a lot about like all these different, cultures all over the world. It's been very cool like chatting with you guys, and yeah, it's been a great experience, man. Grim Soka says, you brought us all here. You loved us and gave us a good time. You're not allowed to leave. I don't plan on it, man. Yeah. Jabba the Hutt says he's not from Earth. Yes, Jabba, I believe you're from some sort of a planet in a galaxy far, far away. Russia, you mean Kislev? Yeah, we gotta wait for the Rona to calm down before we do any traveling plans. So guys, it looks like for our first matchup, we're actually going to be getting Wood Elves against High Elves. So it's going to be a classic archer duel of sorts. You think Zablaski will go for a rush? I mean, it's certainly possible. Are you suggesting the Earth is not flat? Oh god. Yeah, I mean, I don't remember in high school. I mean, like that we might have like briefly like breezed over where like things are across the planet, but it's like very topical. Like as far as like memorizing where things are in the US, one of the requirements is memorizing every single state and its capital, at least at my high school. But you know, like in international geography, dude, oh man. Yeah, there might be a bit of lag right now. I don't know what it is. I could lower the bitrate. Let me check. I see the bitrate is fluctuating, so yeah, a little bit of lag. All right, guys, thanks for the heads up. I should probably just lower the bitrate, to be honest. I think it's too high. How could I change the bitrate without crashing the... Because sometimes if I change the bitrate, it crashes the stream. Hold on. Let me see if I can fix this problem. YouTube. Wait, OBS, change bitrate while streaming. Let me see if I can do this. To enable dynamic bitrate, make sure you download the... Navigate to settings, advanced toggle. Okay, let's see if this will work. Like the bitrate is shooting up higher than I usually have it set at. Something weird is going on. So guys, there's a slim chance that this might crash the stream, but if it does, I'll just restart. Obviously, that would be super annoying, but let me see if this fixes it. Okay, I navigate to settings. God, I'm such a caveman with technology. Jesus. It's from 2019. Okay. Probably in stream, output, streaming. Where art thou, dynamic bitrate? Where art thou? It's fine, we can take a little bit of dynamically change bitrate to manage congestion. Okay. Instead of dropping frames to reduce congestion, dynamically changes the bitrate on the fly. This can increase delay to viewers if there's a significant sudden congestion. I mean, I could try it. It looks like it's actually stabilizing right now. Yeah, it's stabilized back at my normal amount. Okay, I think we're good. I'll try that on another stream where it's not like a big tournament of sorts. It is live, Aaron Lang. Yeah, we're having a good old jolly time, man. Yeah, man. Your screen is... If your screen is frozen, just restart the stream. Okay, let's see here. Bear with me a second, guys. Okay, it looks like Satsuma's still picking his army anyways, which is fine. Yeah, so on OBS bitrate, you can't do that. I'm a little bit nervous to like check this. I feel like it's going to crash the stream. But if it solves the problem, then that might be good. Are you guys still having lag right now? What bike did I ride back in the day? I had a 1985 Kawasaki GPZ. Yeah, it's almost the same one as he rides in Top Gun. The one in Top Gun, I think, was an earlier model, and I think it was also a turbo, which I did not have. But yeah, that was mine. You guys still getting lag here? Like when I talk, is it a little bit choppy? Yeah, okay. We'll forgive you. Okay, well, I won't forgive myself. It's one of my biggest triggers when a stream crashes. Okay, so let's go to stream, output, okay, whatever, advanced settings. No lag, all good. Okay. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. No lag issues. Okay, tiny bit better though. All right, sounds good. Not Top Gear, Top Gun. And as a matter of fact, the bike that Tom Cruise rode was a more advanced. It was an older model, but it was probably a better model because it had a turbo. the turbo capacity of that series. So, yeah. Flexing on my bike, dude. Yeah, glad to hear. All right. Hopefully the lag issues have resolved. Yeah, my bitrate is set really high to try and get the quality of the stream better, but I could lower it for future streams. Yeah, the Ultra Fund was really, really fun. I had an absolute blast with that. We'll have one this week. Tuesday, Thursday, one of those. Maybe Wednesday, actually, we'll do that. No, the only motorcycle I've ever rode was the one I owned. Well, I mean, I rode my grandpa's Harley. He had a Road King, like one of those big hogs. And I also, of course, rode the GPZ. Yeah, it was a blast, man. I miss riding. Riding a motorcycle is one of my favorite passions. It was so fucking fun, man. Sorry, I do curse sometimes when I get excited. But yeah, it was. Oh god, I was so dumb though, man. I was like 19, 20, like riding down the California Pacific Coast Highway, wearing jeans, a tank top, a helmet, and like gloves, just going like 80 miles per hour, just asking to get owned, man. It's just like I was so dumb. But I feel like you see that a lot, right? Like. Wisdom does come with age for sure, but dude, it was bad. Yeah, my grandpa was a big Harley Davidson guy. He owned bikes like his whole life, and before he passed away, and he taught me to ride. I went and stayed with him out in the desert in New Mexico, and we would just ride. I never crashed. I rode for about 3 years. I never crashed. I got really lucky. There was like 2 or 3 close calls where if I had crashed, I would have just died probably. Like really close calls, man. Like if I had reacted a split second later, I would have just been done for. That's like part of the reason why I don't miss it that much, you know? Wisdom and body falling apart, yeah. Dude, yeah. There was a couple close calls that were really scary. Yeah, I know, Quintus. Some people don't get away with it, yeah. You've only, Ben Russell says, I've only had a 125cc bike. Mine was a 750. They made a law to avoid 19-year-olds doing what you did. Dude, in America, it's so funny. Talking to Lady Turin, who, of course, is from Poland. When I was in high school, we were able to get our driver's license at the age of 16 years old. So you were literally a 15-year-old, like just super immature, like still going through like all the growth and hormone change. And like, oh, I'm suddenly 16 and I'm capable of like driving alone, like being responsible, making good decisions. It's like, it's pretty absurd. I don't know what it's like now in the States, but when I was growing up, you could get your driver's license at 16 years old. You could get your driver's permit at 15. So you could be driving around at 15 years old also. Yeah. Yeah, 750 cc's is the first bike. You have to remember, my grandpa was like a big Harley guy. He's like, oh, my grandson's going to be getting a strong bike. Yeah. Oh, it was insane. You can get your driver's license at 16 in the UK. Okay, so it's pretty similar. I know in Poland, I think Anna said it was like 18, or it was certainly an older age. Can you share the close call? Yeah, I was on the California Pacific Coast Highway, where Ventura connects to the Santa Barbara Freeway, and I was just driving in the middle lane of a 3-lane highway, and basically this giant gas tanker was like driving in front of me, this like semi truck, and it didn't see me, and it just merged into the lane I was in, and I was kind of like spaced out because I used to listen to music while I was riding, which is another really stupid thing to do. And so I didn't hear it, but like my peripheral vision caught it at the last second, and I like swerved super hard into the left lane. Now, had there been a car in the left lane, would have crashed into him, but thankfully there was no one there. It was like a very empty freeway, so yeah. Dude, it was experience, man. Like, it was terrifying, but it also felt like, part of me, I think, likes that thrill seeking. Like, I was like, oh my god, I survived! Like, hell yeah, dude. I was like laughing, and like I had some like heavy rock music playing on my headphones. Dude, it was a crazy experience. Anyways, let's focus on the game. Back to Warhammer. So Zablaski's coming in the high elf matchup with triple Waywatcher, one of which is going to be the Hawkeyes of Jakira. Up in the sky, he's got a Glade Lord with the Prey of Anathrema. Ground Force is going to be a combination of Eternal Guard and Dryad, one Wild Hunter of Karnus back, and a Spellsinger of Life. So obviously, it's going to be just Waywatchers, and the Waywatchers are pretty much the one thing that holds together the Wood Elf roster. So now for Delicious Satsuma, that's his name today. It's going to be Spearman, no Silver and Guard. Obviously, it's just going to be a wet noodle contest. Lothern Sea Guard with shields, obviously pretty effective here. They're silver shielded, so they can certainly eat that ammunition of the Waywatchers pretty happily. One Mage of Life and a Net Mage as well. No, a Net Mage and a Mage of Life with Regrowth. Pretty good combo. Obviously, there are Dragon Princes. Really, really juicy target here for the Dragon Princes to be healed by Regrowth. And Who the hell is the Lord here for the High Elves? Oh, it's a Lithanar, baby! So Lithanar ripping that fat moonbow, the Shadow King going after the Way Watchers, and here you can see the opening volleys here of the Hawkeyes of Jakira. Certainly doing some big damage. You can see the Lothern Sea Guard getting pounded pretty good despite their shields. Just shows how truly disgusting Way Watchers can be. But like, Way Watchers are so good, but they're also like the glue that, like I said, that holds together the roster, you know? Like without Way Watchers, Wood Elves would just be in such a pitiful state. Like, yeah, they could still win games here and there, but it would be so damn hard for sure. So here you can see the Lothern Sea Guard taking a bit of work. It looks like the Birdcaster, Zablaski's Glade Lord here, is lurking in the wings, waiting to get a prey of Anathrema. So basically he's waiting for Satsuma to like screw up once, right? Satsuma slips up with a mage or something else like that. It's really, really laggy. Yeah, okay, I'm going to have to adjust it after the stream, lower my bitrate or something. If I do it right now, it'll crash the game. But, yeah, hopefully it'll stabilize for you guys. Let me know how it's going. It's lagging? Okay. Tons of lag. The dreaded lag. It has returned. All right, so like 50%. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna minimize then. We can't stand for this treachery. Advanced. Dynamically change bitrate on the fly. Can I click this? Oh, it won't even let me do it right now. Damn. Yeah, the video's lagging. I'm not sure why. Well, we'll get through the game, guys, and then I'll do something. If I have to restart the stream, I'll do it. I'll just say part 1 and part 2. You guys you'll be back. It's totally frozen now, huh? Just make the player stop. Well, it's not lagging for me or for them, and they're very focused in battle. I think it would certainly be wouldn't be good for them to you know, be forced to pause in this very heated moment. A little bit better now, yeah. I notice it's fluctuating a lot. It's just kind of spiking up and down. It's very strange. But we'll get through it, guys, and then after this game, if I have to, I'll restart the stream, and we should be fine. So now the Wood Elf battle line is finally advancing. The Dryads and Eternal Guard will be slamming into the Spearmen here in the front. Dryads will be pretty good against Spearmen. They're quite solid in that engagement, but the big deciding factor is going to be the efficiency of the heavy cav here of the High Elves, like the Dragon Princes in the back and, you know, various other things like that. So as far as the Way Watchers go, I mean, pretty safe. Wood Elves don't really have too much mass in the back line, though. I mean, they don't have any, like, Wild Riders or Sisters or anything to obstruct a frontal advance. So if the High Elves wanted to pull their Princes or Reavers up and through the center, there's, like, a huge gap. You can see the huge seam right here. The Way Watchers are actually sniping the Lothern Sea Guard, which I suppose is one of the better trades the High Elves could get in this situation. And here we have a very interesting choice to engage here from the Wild Hunters of Kurnus, who do use Flesh to Stone. Check that out here from Zablaski. What a play. Yeah. The Wild Hunters of Kurnus is active with the Flesh to Stone and a regrowth. So they have 100 armor right now. Look at that. That's a power combo. Eternal Guard have also saturated in. Granted, there is rear shots coming in from Lothern Sea Guard, and I think that Satsuma is going to be getting these Reavers around the back, maybe going after the Way Watchers and or going in for this fight here. Yeah, hopefully it's stabilized for you guys. Certainly some cool engagements. Prey of Anathrema actually used here on the Reavers. Very interesting to prevent the rear charge. I actually thought Prey of Anathrema would be used to prevent a frontal charge, because now that Prey is off cooldown, these Dragon Princes could be used to go hammer these Way Watchers, and there would be nothing the Wood Elves could really do about it. There's no mass back there. There's no spears. You know, things are looking a little bit tight back there. Now, as far as this engagement goes, the Flesh to Stone Wild Riders, a pretty power combo. That has a balls deep long cooldown. Jesus, it's still going. I feel like that's been going for the Wild Hunters of Kurnus, at least if they get the charge. As far as the backline goes, Zablaski seems to be in relatively good shape. His Way Watcher is still functional and shooting. Now going after the Lothern Sea Guard. And the Lothern Sea Guard's backs are actually turned. So you can see here that the Lothern Sea Guard are not going to be getting their shield effect because their backs are turned. So that's quite nice for sure. Oh, but look at this. You can see the Glade Lord of Zablaski of Kurnus are now officially going to get just absolutely dumpstered. Balance his caster and whatnot. May lose his caster here. Nice Arrow of Kurnus, able to pick off a couple of those Dragon Princes, it looks like. But it looks like the Spellsinger of Life here for Zablaski is actually going to be dying, which is really unfortunate. It means the Glade Lord isn't going to be able to heal. And it would appear that Delicious Satsu being turned into some firewood here by the Dragon Princes. Yeah, Dryads, you know, they'll punch back a little bit. Nice Prey of Anathrema, though, for sure. Locking them into the Azrai Spears, which means that these Dragon Princes are probably going to be cut down pretty efficiently. As a matter of fact, the Glade Lord's going to be jumping down. Interesting thing, though, is even if the Glade Lord does get back up in the sky, the Elithanar, the Shadow King, going to be able to drop some bows on that Glade Lord, even if it tries to run. Way Watchers are still somewhat functional in terms of ammo, I guess. Yeah, a couple of volleys left for these two, but this one's pretty much 100% out of ammunition as well. Audio's fine. Just pretend like it's a 1940s radio show. Like, pretend like you're watching baseball way back in the day before television. Turin radio. Archers shooting happily. Here you can see the Dryads taking a little bit of fire for sure. You can see the Lothern Sea Guard dropping some shots here. Balance bar is actually normalized a little bit. Elithanar, I mean, is kind of embroiled by a bunch of War Dancers with Azrai Spears. And yeah, I mean, he's okay in combat, but he's not going to like this. War Dancers have really high melee defense, so it's going to take him forever to get through those. Thankfully, though, he was able to get rid of the caster. The last of the ammunition here for Zablaski is about to run dry, but it seems like he's saving it for a sniping attempt, which I think is smart. If he's able to catch this Mage of Life, for example, in open field and just rip a fat volley into its back, that would be very, very strong for sure. Now, as far as High Elves go, they have some Reavers, some Dragon Princes and Rally, some Lothern Sea Guard over there who've come back. But it seems like Zablaski just has a ton of stuff everywhere. Is Zablaski going to be able to just get this game going back? Cast a PowerPoint battle at some point? Dude, that would actually be a really funny parody video. I would actually be down. So here comes Elithanar getting in. There is a pretty good heroic goon squad here for the High Elves, especially if Earthbloods are still on the table. Oh no, he doesn't have that. He just has regrowth. That's right. Weight Watchers are about to run out. And it looks like the Eternal Guard there were punched down. A couple of Lothern Sea Guards still shooting. A somewhat healthy group of princes. It looks like there's actually 16 models here. That's really substantial. Those 16 princes could actually really melt many of these very squishy High Elf archers that are kind of scurrying here. Yeah, Overcasted Flesh to Stone lasts 88 seconds. Holy shit, that's long. Pravenoth Rama going down to break the charge here. That is the last of the Pravenoth Rama charges, which is going to be allowing the Wild Hunters of Avernus to get that juicy charge right there. Quite nice. Also, there are some Eternal Guard coming to back them up as well. So the Eternal Guard will be able to salvage that situation. And it looks like the Mage of Light is actually broken. I think the Glade Lord was able to snipe it up in the sky. Elithanar, the Shadow King, going deep there on the bottom, but yeah, I mean, a little bit surrounded just by a ton of units. Hawkeyes of Jakira do have good combat stats in melee too. 36, 36, 32. Certainly capable of fighting like a mage and or someone like Elithanar who has, you know, relatively... Yeah, if you guys just keep trying to refresh if you're having lag issues, hopefully that will, you know, stabilize it and we'll be okay after this game. So here are the Way Watchers getting rode down by some princes, but it looks like Zablaski's able to pull this game back. I have no idea how he's been able to do this. I have to say, an incredibly impressive performance. It looked like Satsuma was in a very dominant position and was actually quite far ahead on the Bounce of Power, but now I just don't think Elithanar can beat these numbers. The prince is being caught, of course. And yeah, I think that's going to be game. Man, Zablaski with the comeback. Sorry about the game, guys. That was such a good technical match. You know, kind of forsaken by a little bit of lag, but perhaps I can ask Zablaski to send me the replay and then we can cast it separately because it certainly was a very, very good game. So at this point, Satsuma, I don't think there's any way he's going to be able to come back. Elithanar is going to just get dragged down by all these infantry. I mean, there's too many. He's terrible at killing infantry. It's going to take him like 10 years. The Glade Lord able to chase down the mage there. There's a couple Dragon Princes around the map, but some Spearmen. Yeah, it's not looking too good. GG indeed. And the Shadow King shall fall before the might of the Azrai. His cousins betraying him as they shank him. Although it's not really betrayal. Wood Elves don't like anyone. I feel like they just kind of troll everyone. And yeah, Elithanar's getting shot pretty good. Hawkeyes of Drakira showing their melee prowess. He's certainly shaken. A rear charge here from the Glade Lord wouldn't be a bad idea. A couple princes nearby, but you can see Zablaski has basically pulled some spears out of the melee combat. And he's making sure that to screen those guys out. And they actually just break 2 army losses. And that is going to be game 1. Going to Zablaski. Well played, man. Well played. That was a super solid game. I'm really sorry you guys had lag throughout the game, but the cat play at the start was really good too. Yeah, the Flesh to Stone power combo, that was really, really cool. Both players played great, but in the end, Zablaski was able to edge it out, and it was a good scrap. So good scrap indeed. Yes, yes. And now, GG, well played. The Runes of Elundul. Is this a good map? I can't remember. I don't think so. I remember when we played Skuld in the Large Funds tournament. That was fun. All right, map set. Wood Elves, Weight Watchers are nightmares. Not lagging anymore. Okay. Yeah, Sebastian, don't worry. I'll be doing an Ultra Funds tournament at least once a week. It seems like people really enjoyed it. Yeah, I think the lag is stabilized for the most part. I see some dropped frames, but I think it's chilling. No, it's still going. 1 sec, guys. I'll be right back. I'm going to go check something. Why is Elithanar so useless in game when he's such a beast in lore? He's not useless. All right, guys, I'm back. Something to think of for sure. All right, so the players are going to do their picks and bans now. We have the map set. Oh, yeah. I think we're going to get Chaos. We're going to get Zablaski sitting on Chaos, and of course, he is quite good at Chaos. Looks like Satsuma's going to be going with his greenskins, I think. I would imagine that's going to be the fight of fights. Yeah. Well, you see, the thing is, Steel Bear, for the Ultra Funds tournament, we did not use usual tournament rules. We used a much more relaxed format. Yeah, it was much more relaxed. Steel Bear. But yeah, the Dread Saurian limitation was kind of stupid. Like, things like that should be changed in Ultra Funds. I would be willing to try Small Funds, though. I wouldn't be against it. Yeah, you guys agree? Yeah, I'll come up with some rules for Ultra Funds. I'll talk to some people, and we'll try and come up with something fun. It's a really fun format. It's incredibly awesome, but it's, yeah, it's got its issues. It's got its issues indeed. Yeah, I see the internet kind of spiking a little bit still, even after I fixed something. Hey, Grim Soka. Oh, remind me I have to show you my Sylvaneth. Oh, hell yeah, man. Share them in Discord. All right, guys, one sec. I'll be back one last time. All right, I think we're good. I think we're good indeed. Yeah, there was very little lag. There was very little lag in the Ultra Funds tournament. It just depends on the players, really. Like, you have to get people with good internets and things like that. Good internet. Good internets. Good internet to make it party. So it's going to be Lizards, I think. Or I think they're just looking at factions right now. We're going to be on the Chaos Wastes for this battle. Zablaski looking at Lizardman. It looks like he was looking at Chaos for a moment. Satsuma's sitting on Greenskin, so I think that's kind of a hint as to what he might bring. It's going to be Tomb Kings for Zablaski, maybe? Okay, so Satsuma is Greenskins, and he banned Vampire Counts and Bretonnia. So right now, Zablaski is basically cycling through his options. Satsuma is actually probably considered to be one of the best Greenskin players out there. He's very, very good at Greenskin. So if he wants to get back on the scoreboard, the Greenskin pick here is certainly very strong. Okay, I thought I was like talking to myself muted for like 5 minutes. Yeah, the lag should be all better now, guys. It's been stable for the past like several minutes. Lou Mumsley, thank you, Turin, for the great content. You're welcome. Thank you for the solid donation, brother. The 20 euros. Hope all is well over in the lands of Europe. Yeah. Well, Evan Sherman, I want to have some balance as it pertains to Ultra Funds tournaments, because if you don't limit it, people are just going to come with like 15 Vargulfs and like a Vampire Lord, and it's just not going to be fun to watch. Like, you need to have some restrictions. Otherwise, it just becomes single entity spam and just abusive and annoying. Like, you know. It looks like Druki, actually. I think he's going to be going with Dark Elves. Okay, he's going Dark Elves. So it's going to be Dark Elves versus Greenskin. So, you know, maybe we'll see, like, the Marathi Hydra Blob versus, you know, Skarsnik, and who knows. Who knows. Yeah, I think, like, ladder rules with slightly relaxed monster rules could be good. Yeah, it's tricky. Turning on ladder caps is a very easy solution, though. Yeah, I don't know. We could also bump it up to like 20,000 gold just to like make it even more ridiculous, but I think 17,000 is good. Vampire counts are VC. VP is Vampirates usually. Yeah, it's for Coast. VP is usually the band symbol for Vampirates. All right, guys, we're loading into game 2. Zablaski went up last game. Certainly did very well for himself. And now we have the Satsuma on the ropes, but on his best faction. Brian, we are on the second best of 3 of today's tournament. And we will be jumping on over to the grand finals after this series is concluded. So you are, you're not late. You arrived precisely when you were meant to be. Victory Pirates, I know. Hopefully you guys saw the video today talking about what I think is the strongest faction in the game. I think Vampire Coast is. In the hands of a good player, they can be quite devastating. Granted, I lose with them all the time, or at least I was before. But man, watching someone like Anticity play Coast, like those guys who really specialize in them, it is nasty. Yeah, Evan Sherman, for sure. We'll come up with a good like set of format rules. Yeah. And here we are, my friends. We are on the Chaos Wastes, a lovely map. I'm actually in the process of my lovely wife and I, Lady Turin, are we're painting some Khorne Berserkers, which are coming out really cool. I think when but we're not doing them in like a World Eater scheme. We're painting the Khorne Berserkers as the like Hounds of Abaddon scheme, so it's the black and gold Khorne Berserkers with a kind of a dark blue edge highlight, and then like some Khorne colors on them. It looks really, really cool. Like black and gold is so badass looking. Steel Bear says, "Come on, Zablaski from Mother Russia." We will see. All right, guys. I mean, look, Vampire Coast can be beaten for sure. Like they're just really strong. Like I don't know if they're like strong enough to warrant them being like nerfed into the ground, but I mean, I just think they're the strongest faction. I actually don't mind playing against Coast. Like when people pick Coast, I feel like I know what I need to bring to beat them, more or less. But yeah, I just think they're the strongest faction overall. Yeah, there shouldn't be any lag now. Yeah. Well, there is a subsect of Khorne warriors called the Hounds of Abaddon, and it's like they're part of the Black Legion, but they also maintain some World Eater tactics. So you can use them as World Eaters too in tabletop. It's totally fine from a lore perspective and from a gameplay perspective. And also, then if I want to play Black Legion, or like I can still use them as my Black Legion too. Yeah. What is your favorite campaign faction? Or my favorite campaign? Empire, Karl Franz, or Volkmar the Grim. I love those campaigns. All right, guys. So for the armies here of Zablaski, we got Shades with dual weapons. Look at this. It's going to be quad dual weapon Shade. Hajime mashite. Hajime mashite. How do I say that? Oh my god. I'm just forgetting everything. Thank you so much for the donation, man, for the 5,000 yen. It's yen. Genki desu ka, boku no tomodachi. I am doing totemo genki. Naze nara, anate no donation wa totemo sugoi desu. Alright, guys. Gotta focus on Warhammer. Thank you so much for the fat one, man. Appreciate it. It's basically just spears, backed up by Cold One Knights with Sisters of Singing Doom in the back line, and a bunch of frickin' Shades with dual weapons. This is certainly pretty wild indeed. So we'll see how this unfolds. Now, the skirmish cab here of Delicious Satsuma, Vicious Satsuma, are going to be diving in pretty aggressively here. Granted, there are Cold One Knights and Spears nearby, but looks like these Shades a little bit out in the open, but they are combat Shades. Cold One Knights are going to be countercharging, so many of the little spiders are going to be taking big damage on impact, and there's also some pretty healthy crossfire. So far, the... no. I studied Japanese for 4 years. I can speak a little bit, yeah. For the rest of the army here from Satsuma, I mean, it's going to be Orc Boys with Trolls and Boar Boy Riders. It looks like also Grom the Paunch, Goblin Big Boss, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, a bit of a weaker infantry corps, but backed up by Trolls, they can certainly take things to Pound Town. There are some Bacon Calf in the back of the Orc Boar Boy Biggins. Looks like there's two of those, one on each side. And the caster is going to be a River Troll Hag, of course, for a Spirit Leech and the Buna. Yeah, yes, that was French. No, it's Sugoshi Nihongo o Hanishimasu. Sugoshi. That means I speak a little bit of Japanese. And the Orc Boys advance. They go with forward. The Dark Elves are going to be forced back. Obviously, they want to delay the frontline engagement for as long as they can. Granted, Spears will be quite good here. Their melee defense will hold back the Orc Boys and also be efficient against the Trolls. And now the Shades with a massive amount of concave fire here, but mostly against like Orc Boys and Goblins, really. They haven't gotten too many devastating shots. For Zablaski's Lord, he has a Supreme Sorceress of Manticore summoning, which is very common. So basically, you just summon Manticores and then spam, you know, Flock of Doom. Just kind of live the good life. The Greenskins are pushing pretty hard, though. They're going to be able to catch the Dark Elves here in a moment. Got to make sure the Shades don't get left behind in the dust, because this could happen. Satsuma could catch the Shades out, and then the rest of the Greenskin army could catch them before the Spears are in position. And you can see a lot of the Shades are getting grown down by spiders and goblins and wolves and all sorts of nasty stuff. Cold One Knights do countercharge once again. Shades are pulling back behind the combat lines, which is definitely what they want to be doing. Sisters of Singing Doom, also a great asset here because they cause terror. So if the Sisters of Singing Doom are able to jump in and get some big terror outs on the Orc Boys and all these annoying harass units, that could be very impactful. Although trying to rampage Grom the Punch would also be a very, very good, ambitious endeavor. Good and ambitious, yeah. Yeah, no, I haven't spoken Japanese probably in like years. God, since I was in college, maybe like 10 years ago. That was the first time I've spoken in a while, so. I can say some phrases. I've forgotten most of it, to be honest. I used to be able to write hiragana and katakana completely, like perfectly and read it perfectly, but it's last time I studied it was 2005, so, and I haven't used it since. So the Supreme Sorceress summons its first Manticore, which is going to be diving in the front line. These shades are focusing the trolls pretty heavily. You can see the trolls here of Vicious Satsuma are going to be getting pounded pretty good by the Shade Fire. Also, a little bit of inefficiency here on the flank. A couple Dread Spears and Bleak Swords could be pulled back behind the primary battle line since they're not really doing anything here. Or, you know, what's going to end up happening is the Shades will fall back this way, and these units will be used to reform a new battle line, because the Greenskins are crumping through the center. You can see the Hellebroni are broken, all these troops are broken. Really, really nasty push by Grom the Paunch. As a matter of fact, I'm not really sure how all these spears were broken, but I guess just combined focus fire from the Trolls and the Orc Boys, as well as Grom the Paunch cycle charging them, has been enough to break those bad boys. So Grom's getting nice and thick. And Grom is an absolute beast for sure. He's already up to freaking 87 kills. Like, every couple seconds he moves, you could just see his kill count just shooting up. Grom the Paunch is a very, very powerful and underrated lord. Orca Boar Boy Biggins back here also going to be getting on the Shades. Definitely now you can see that Zablasky is going to be pulling the Dread Spears and Bleak Swords from reserve. And as far as this battle line goes, you can see here the Witch Elves are doing okay. Some Bleak Swords were able to beat some Orc Boys with the Sisters of Singing Doom. And actually, a bit of a mass terror out here from the Trolls. You can see Satsuma's Trolls were both pushed off. And the Sisters of Singing Doom probably had a hand in that. But they're going to be back now, and if he lets them regenerate, that is going to be a huge power spike, especially since the Shades are having such a hard time. Supreme Sorcerer is falling back. Orc War Boys are still just going balls deep in this back line, and there's not too much, honestly, here to stop Grom the Paunch. I mean, the Velociraptor Sorceress could, because she's on a cold one. Oh, and the Fanatics are being dropped, and they're just tearing through the Shades. Oh, no. The humanity. See, the Shades, it reminds me of Blood Bowl, but yeah, they just get pounded by that. And then they're forced back as well. Grom the Paunch still just filling his big fat paunch with Dark Elf meat here and doing a bunch of damage. And the Pig Cab are getting worn down by the Manticore summon, but not before like all the Shades are just violated by Grom the Paunch and that pressure. And yeah, who knows? Greenskins are also coming back with a bit of a second win. They still have a lot of their skirmish cab, and their units of Trolls are still healthy. Their infantry is a little bit sparse, but honestly, Grom the Paunch is going to be an unholy terror in this game. River Troll Hag here a little bit surrounded by Coldland Knights, who are now being afflicted by Spirit Leech, and Dark Elves, of course, probably still have a Manticore summon in the back pocket, but Zablasky's Supreme Sorceress is being forced into combat to support the Bleak Swords and Dread Spears. Trying to go for a gooning of his own. If Zablasky's actually able to take out the River Troll Hag, get rid of the caster, that could certainly be a way back into this game. Also, Zablasky's Bounce of Power is a little bit falsely inflated. Largely, obviously not largely, but solely due to the Manticore summon. And the Trolls are coming back, and the Troll Soul, you know, you got to pay it eventually. The Troll Soul, you know, it can wait at your door, it'll wait in your mailbox. It's a debt collector, man. It's going to come knocking for them bills. And the Trolls are coming back. 9 of 12 models here. We also have 10 of 12 right here. Those bad boys are still pretty combat functional and are healing, and it's only getting worse for the Dark Elves as this game does go, and they're no longer able to actually focus fire the Trolls down. Nice pick here, though. Zablasky is able to snipe out the giant River Troll Hag. You can see she's running for the hill. She's got her giant sack of meat, and yeah, they're doing it. There she goes, her Velociraptor. Certainly not the most pungent smell, I'm sure, where that thing is, but it's all good. And the Greenskins, aside from that, the Trolls are now piling in, and the Haggard Troll Legion is, you can see they're picking up the Shades and clubbing them into the ground. Glorious stuff indeed. Spider Rider's also here. They're going to be preventing the escape of these Shades here. Shades certainly having a very bad time. And the Bounce Power is pretty much a point of no return. So we are going to be going most likely, yeah, 100% to the rubber match. So obviously Satsuma using his best faction here, right? He's a very, very, very good Greenskin player. And I believe last game we had Zablasky win with his best faction, which is probably Wood Elves. So both players have kind of used their big guns. It's going to be really interesting to hear how it goes as we do progress here. And you can see that's going to be that. Greenskins are pretty thick. Grom the Paunch is just going deep in everything. Like, there's nothing that can stop the mighty thickness. Yeah, you can see Grom the Paunch is just hunting down the Sorceress, and like, he's such a powerful duelist, even for like a Chariot character. You can see the Axe of Grom is popped. He just beats that Sorceress in the back once, and she runs off the battlefield. Jeez. Goodness gracious. All right. And there you have it, guys. Satsuma getting back in the game. Grom the Paunch with the carry. And now it's a 1-1 series. We'll go to game 3 and get this party started. Yeah, don't worry, guys. For those of you guys joining late, we still do have the big old thick best of 5 finals to come up, which will be fun. I just got to find a map for these two fine gentlemen. Let's do Tarafoth. Zablasky says Grom was unexpected. Yeah, he certainly was the carry that game, in my opinion. Steve Wilson, it's pretty much the same as Twitch. So I think it's like 20 or 30%. Yeah, it's Twitch does the same thing. PayPal's less, but you know, whatever your preference is, brother. So the thing is, Steel Bear, he asked, is it widespread thing for Americans to live in Japan for a while? So I never lived in Japan. Yeah. I've never lived in Japan. My high school offered it as a language course here in California. But I have a lot of friends who went to go to Japan because, and frankly, they struggled to find jobs after college. So a lot of them went to Japan through some sort of a language teaching program. And, gave them a good, solid job, and at least as far as they've told me. And they taught English there. That seems to be, yeah, like teaching English is a pretty common thing. Yeah, with the JET program is what it's called, yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure they pay for your room and board and give you a decent salary to live with, and yeah. But yeah, that's not uncommon. I have a lot of friends who went to Korea also to teach English. To be fair, this matchup has gotten way tougher for Dark Elves. Also, leaving so many troops unused in the critical moments didn't help either, yeah. So they were kind of talking about the same thing we did. So players are going to do their picks and bans here for the last game. Yeah. No worries, Steel Bear. No worries. Yeah, Greenskins are a top tier faction. I think they have very few weaknesses. I would say Greenskins are an S tier faction. Like Greenskins and Vampire Coast would 100% be S tier for me. A couple other ones might join the crew. I'd have to think about it. Empire's definitely like up there. I don't know if they're like S tier, but they would be like A tier for me. Coast and Greenskins are very, very powerful in the right hands. Yeah. Absolutely. And again, guys, thank you all for joining today. It's been a fun stream so far. We are on the rubber match between Zablaski, the true Eternal Challenger League, coming for them grand finals, and Vicious Satsuma. Did you ever collect miniatures for Warhammer? Do you still? So I have a Warhammer fantasy army of Empire. It's completely unpainted. I got it after the end times happened, unfortunately, but I do have an Empire army, which I'm more or less saving for the old world. So when that comes back, I'll probably just make it into some sort of an Empire army. As long as the models are all the same, and yeah. We'll see what happens, my friends. You will see what happens. Vampire counts are good. Greenskins actually have a good matchup, I think, Reginald Puggington versus Vampire counts now. You got to talk to Aerocrastic about that one. He opened my eyes to that. There's a couple builds. Yeah, you like the build on the multiplayer faction, yeah. What's the most effective artillery? Aldrin, it's too dynamic of a question. Like, you need to tell me, like, the best at killing infantry, the best against large units. I mean, honestly, Casket of Souls might be up there to answer your question in a very general sense. Casket of Souls is, like, really good against, like, almost everything. Except single entities, of course. But it's good against, like, trolls, infantry, all that kind of good stuff. Heavy cav. Yeah, I feel like Greenskins beat Vampire counts. Not handedly, but they definitely can now. It was really rough pre-DLC, I agree. Queen Bess, says Loopy. Hey Loopy, how you doing, man? Hope all is well for you in Europe. Hope life's treating you well, man. Yeah, I hope we get more information on the old world for sure. Sci-Fi Soup, I wouldn't really care if Total War went to Age of Sigmar eventually. Like, as long as it gets... I don't want it now. Like, do Warhammer 3, do 40k Total War, and then we can talk about doing Age of Sigmar. I would happily play it. Happily. Like... the Age of Sigmar lore is what I don't like, but I certainly like the models look good, and yeah, the gameplay and tabletop is actually quite good as well. Wicker Nipple, thank you for the fiber. He says, glad to see you're recovering well. I am. It's a slow process, but we're getting there, man. I actually use a ton of Age of Sigmar models in my 40k army. Like, I order the Blades of Khorne models, and I use them to convert them into like Khorne Berserkers and Khorne Lords and like all that kind of stuff. The World Cup echelon, I'm not sure. If I do start that soon, it'd probably be after the ECL Grand Finals, so probably in the next, like, 2 months. Yeah, Quintus Fontaine, I understand. But, like, I'd much rather we get Warhammer 3, 40k, and then, like, Lord of the Rings Total War. Like, dude, that would blow Age of Sigmar out of the water, in my opinion. Like, dude, like, why even bother? But, like... The thing is like getting the Lord of the Rings license is pretty complex, and CA already has good working relations with Games Workshop, so it's more likely to see like Sigmar. But like, dude, if we were to get like a Lord of the Rings, I think like there would be like a split in real space. The time and space would split open. Just the epicness of Lord of the Rings Total War, like done well. Holy shit, that would just be too much. Yeah, it's like, a lot of people... So the thing is, a lot of people shit on Age of Sigmar, including myself. but I feel like it doesn't deserve to be dumped on for its rules and for the models and the gameplay. They're good. The issues, in my opinion, with Age of Sigmar are you know, just the lore, really, and like it's what it's done to Warhammer Fantasy in general. But you know, arguably, it's sold better than Fantasy, so it's a tricky one. But the gameplay is good and simple. It's like easy to pick up. It's fun, in my experience. The only thing I don't like about Age of Sigmar are the double turns. But yeah. Yeah. Do you think if Warhammer 40K could ever come to cinemas or TV? Yeah. As a matter of fact, they're making a TV show, Lou. The Eisenhorn, I think is what it is. Yeah. No, Lord of the Rings is very like different than Warhammer. It would obviously Warhammer's like, yeah, I don't know. We could get into that, but I would the things I would do to get a Total War Warhammer Lord of the Rings like actually made by Creative Assembly, dude. Oh my god, I would just go crazy. Edward, thank you for the $50 donation. Holy shit, man, you guys are far too generous. I didn't realize you made 100K. Congrats. How's that soundboard coming? It hasn't been coming along because when I believe it was you who originally sent me the files, like I couldn't really click through things. I like, but now I'm starting to be able to click again. But once I'm like able to do a lot of clicking and sorting, I'll get back to it. But Edward, thank you for the $50 donation, man. Yeah, dude, give me Total War Battle for Middle Earth. Oh my god, I think I have an erection, dude. That would be so good. Holy shit. If they do 40K, would you still do fantasy videos? Yeah. Like, but like the thing is, like obviously I do this for a living, so if like people just weren't like nobody was watching the fantasy videos, then I'd have to reconsider it. But yeah, like this game is like Total War Warhammer has been like my lifeblood for the past like 3.5 years. It's been like my life, like covering it and playing it, and like so I have a very fond attachment to this game. I'll probably always play it to an extent, or at least go back to it eventually. Like, let's say this game totally dies someday, and like 5-6 years from now, like nobody plays it really. I would still go back and do videos every now and then, just because of my nostalgia and fondness for it. Oh my god, what's going on here? Okay, so we have Vampire Coast. So wait, Zblasky says I'll pick. We're on Tower of Hoth. It's Tower of Hoth. Yeah, the players are still working out the matchup, so we have a little bit of time. It's always fun to chat with you guys in between games. Third Age Divide and Conquer from Ed 3 is one of the best Lord of the Rings mod. Oh, I thought you were making a joke about it being a Red Alert game. No, yeah, I haven't tried the older Lord of the Rings mods. I know a lot of YouTubers like made their livelihood off that, like Pixelated Apollo and stuff. Yeah, that's how they got big. Well, you know what's interesting, though, Steve, is like there's already a relationship between... Okay, they want me to reselect the map. So a lot of people are saying, like, yeah, it would never happen, Lord of the Rings, because... It would never happen because, you know, Warhammer, you know, they wouldn't want the competition with the fantasy genre or whatever. But Games Workshop already has a working relationship with the Tolkien estate. Because Games Workshop makes the tabletop game for Lord of the Rings. So there could be something like, I don't know, maybe some back channels that it could be made to work. Like when you go into a Games Workshop store, they're often playing the Lord of the Rings soundtrack, which, you know, yeah. I might cover Necromunda. I'm not sure. Yeah. The rights expire in 2053. All right, I think I'll still be alive in 2053. What is that? 33 years from now? Yeah, I'll still be kicking. Hey, Grim Soka, take care, man. Get some rest. Hopefully you enjoyed the stream, and the video will be up later for you to watch. Thank you so much for your fat $300 donation. Much love right back at you, man. Yeah, like, you never know, man. Stranger things have happened. Part of me wants to, like, go work at Creative Assembly, like, get a job there, just so I can, like, be an internal influence to try and push the Lord of the Rings, like, thing. Like, you know? Like over 10 years, I'll like work my way up at Creative Assembly with the intent of like making sure we get Lord of the Rings eventually. I'll make that sacrifice for you guys. Yeah, that like part of me is like, you know, if like, dude, it's got to happen. It's got to. It would be like the greatest thing ever. Oh my God, no, no, we're getting a Tomb King mirror match. No, no, don't do it. Yeah, like with Lord of the Rings too, you could do like the first age too with like Balrogs and, you know, all this like crazy shit. Like Silmarillion time periods. Like, I don't know. It'd be interesting. Yeah, we need to not have a mirror. Oh my god, why are they doing a mirror match? No. Why do you guys love to see me suffer? I mean, yeah, the Tolkien estate's been touchy with its IP, but then you get things like Shadow of Mordor, which is arguably a decent game, but it like completely mangles the lore and the nature of like Lord of the Rings in general. Turin the sleeper agent. Oh, why? Why do they do this to us? Total War Tomb Kings. I know, that's what this game is. Dude, watching undead factions grind against each other is one of the most miserable shit. Oh my god, I hate it. Why does Turin hate mirror matches? Well, it's hard to distinguish the units, like, firstly. And secondly, especially if they're undead, it just becomes like this grind fest. Oh, god. Is there any mirror match you don't hate? Yeah, you know, like an Empire mirror match or like a Bretonnia mirror match I find kind of fun for the cav engagements, but in general, I just hate mirror matches. Yeah. Yeah, no, Shadow of Mordor, I heard, is a very fun game, but the lore aspect of it, like, so if the Tolkien estate lets that lore abomination happen, I feel like they could, you know, make other things happen. It's going to be same colors too, so no one will see anything. Oh my god, they're trolling me even now. Undead grinding against each other. Total War the Gathering. Yeah, I'd be down for that. I'd be down for that. Saturday night chat speed. I know, dudes. We're all enjoying Saturday night together. It's quite an adventure. Best mirror matches is Skaven versus Greenskins. Wait, Greenskins versus and Skaven. Oh, you're saying, yeah, Skaven mirror matches are kind of funny. No, because Steel Bear, if they choose a sub-faction, then they're basically telegraphing that they didn't bring certain lords, and it gives their opponent an advantage. So it wouldn't be a good idea. Yeah, you don't want to give your opponent any information pregame. Oh my god, Wolf of Sigmar. Out of control, man. Thank you for the $99. Jesus, dude. Oh, man. We'll be talking soon, man. Once you get those videos up on your channel. It's almost time. It's almost time. Wolf of Sigmar, man. Thank you so much. Holy shit, dude. I know. Yeah, and guys, we're going to wait a little bit to talk. I've been chatting with Wolf of Sigmar. He's going to be starting a Total War channel covering a multitude of things, I think, ranging from multiplayer to campaign. So, Wolf of Sigmar, if you want to link your channel right now, and, you know, people can get ready for the videos, or if you want to wait till the videos are up, totally up to you. Of course, I'll help you share it when the time comes. But Wolf of Sigmar, man, thank you so much. You know, I'm not terribly versed in the Silmarillion, like, first age kind of lore of Lord of the Rings. I mean, I've kind of breezed through certain stories in the book, but yeah. Wolf of Sigmar, man, thank you so much. Total War Disney. Yeah, Old World is in the works. God, why are they doing this to me? Why? What have you done? Dude, nothing is like... The shittiest part about Tomb King's campaigns is like the beginning when you have to fight other Tomb King stacks, and it's just like, just miserable, dude. Ugh. That's basically what this is going to be. Takeshi 69, no, I have not. Total War Minecraft. You know, I know Minecraft has a lot of, you know, memes and stereotypes about it, but I actually enjoyed playing Minecraft. I played on, I forget, I think it was called the Feed the Beast mod. Me and my friend used to play, and I didn't use any technology. I like roleplayed this character where I only used Thaumcraft. So Thaumcraft was like witchcraft and magic, basically. And I would just like fly around with like on a magical broom with like, oh dude, it was so fun. Yeah, I had a good time with that. Dude, yeah, Tomb King's mirror match with only skeleton spears. That is the only thing you see. So while we're hanging out here, guys, currently Zach Bisane is waiting in the finals. He's going to be facing the winner of the series, obviously. I believe Zablasky is Russian, and Vicious Satsuma, I think, is based in the UK. So obviously Zach Bisane is going to have the earlier in the day advantage, and that he may not be as tired. But yeah, I think most people who play this game are more or less night owls, right? So Yeah. Thaumcraft was the best. It was so much fun. Yeah, I did Minecraft Dungeons, yeah. Dude, Wolf of Sigmar, man. Thank you again. Yeah, that's the camera. And Wolf of Sigmar said Shadow of War is better. DLC suck though. And Don Carnage, just take my money and keep up the good work. I will, man. Thank you for the 50 DKK. All right. Yeah, Wolf of Sigmar, of course, man. Here, Wolf, hold on. Type something in chat if you could. Hold on. All right, Wolf, go ahead and link it now. You should be able to link it. So if you just get the link for your baseline channel, so just go to your main channel page and try and link it in chat now. I just changed some settings. Dude, Wolf of Sigmar, man. Thank you so much. I can do it for you too. I'll find it for you. All right, so yeah, we're getting there. I do have a face. I do. All right, guys. Here's the channel link to Wolf of Sigmar. He's been a huge supporter of the channel, and he's just getting started in Total War. He hasn't put up videos yet, but if you guys want to prep, he's going to be doing multiplayer, and I'm going to be recording some 2v2s with him and stuff. So, and among other things, so check it out. Head on over, man. Join the party. I got you covered, man. I'm just a voice inside of a PC. An anomaly in space and time. Oh, it's happening. The mirror match of doom. Why? What is that like line that's often used in meme videos? Like, why do we exist if just to suffer? It's like totally what this is. Dude, Wolf of Sigmar, thank you so much, man. Again. See, you should be able to link it. Turin, son of Uhtred. Oh, man. I gotta figure out Jersey Shore Total War. Dude, my favorite thing about Jersey Shore ever is obviously the show was really funny with Jersey Shore. I know you can't see the battle. I haven't switched back yet. Was the It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia episode where they go back to the Jersey Shore. Dude, it's so fucking funny. Oh my god. Deidre Cat, turned by the 9 Divines. When will you do another Magic stream? I actually have a video recorded I'll be uploading in the next couple days. So, yeah. Why are we still here just to suffer? Yeah, that's it. Dude, Wolf of Sigmar, thank you, man. And guys, remember, please do check out Wolf of Sigmar. He's a huge supporter of the channel, and yeah. He's going to be doing some dank Total War content. We're going to be doing some 2v2s, so if you guys are interested in that, make sure to head on over. Richie! Turin is Gary from Final Space. What is that? Hold on. Okay, the players are loading in anyway, so I can minimize now. Gary, Final Space. So you're saying I look like him? I don't look like that guy. Richie, what are you talking about? I mean, it's not an insult. He's just like a cartoon character, but... What? Oh. I'll take it though, Richie. That's fine. Oh, man. Dude, a Coast Mirror match I'd rather watch. Because at least there's like gun shooting and it gets a little bit crazy in that sense. Yeah, I'll do some live Magic when the new set is out. I think it's already out now. Maybe I'll do a stream this week, like a nighttime stream. Yeah, we'll see. No, yeah, I don't have much of a beard. It's more stubble. All right, guys. No worries, Wolf of Sigmar. Not a problem, dude. All right, so for the forces here of Zablaski, we have Ushapti Grapos and a million Skeleton Spears, classic. Cetra the Imperishable, double Sepulchral Stalker backed up by a Lich Priest and a Necrotech. So, yeah, Ushapti Grapos and Stalkers. It's like all ranged firepower. Hey, and look at this. It's like the exact same build, just with monsters in the back instead. So for Satsuma, it's going to be triple Ushapti Grapo, a Necro Sphinx, Cetra the Imperishable, and it's also going to be... what is this? Yeah, I think they're like Nakar Horsemen with a little bit of Chariot action mixed in. So, yeah, we got the Monsters threat from this army and also the Chariots. That's pretty much the difference. But more or less, they're both going to be like Ushapti Grapo dependent armies. The dreaded triple Ushapti. I know. Total War Skeletons. I know. That's basically what's happening here. Hey, Wolf Sigmar again, man. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate that. Final Space on Netflix. It's fun. I'll check it out, man. I will check it out. The dreaded 6 Ushapti battle. Some very clever tactics here. Would have been interesting to see one player go with a bum rush, right? Like just an all-out rush or something, just to kind of shut down the Great Bows. Total War, the Wookiee strikes back. Dude, Wookiee has been such a terror lately. Oh my god. Such a terror. So here, the Ushapti Great Bow are going to be preparing to rain some fire. Ripping some fat shots downtown. Here they go. And yeah, they're just basically trading. You can see the Petra's Incantation of Righteous Smiting from Zablaski is going to be making these guys, of course, hit a lot harder. Pretty cool buff. Puts them from more or less 123 to 172. Also helps the AP value. So yeah, it seems like the Great Bow trade is going well for Zablaski because of the buffs he's applying. Satsuma's going to have to advance. And ooh, look at this. An ambush here from the Sepulchral Stalkers here. Zablaski, the Eyes of the Desert, going to be ripping some shots in. That's really, really nice right there. Look at that. Yeah, man, bringing those Ushapti down. One more volley is going to crumble. I don't know if Satsuma's noticed this yet. I don't think he has. The Sepulchral Stalkers are just like, notice me, senpai. And the Ushapti Great Bows are just like, nah, I'm good, man. We're not going to notice you. Granted, some of the Skeleton Spears do advance up and are going to start poking those guys, but it seems like the trading is going a little bit better for Zablaski. The support here from the Eyes of the Desert poking into the Ushapti Great Bows, plus the buffs he's applying. Dejav's Incantation. I think he miscasted that there. Maybe just trying to get the healing proc across his units, but so far the Sneaky Snakes getting in there doing some pretty good damage. Setra the Imperishable going in. Going to make some of these skeletons perish, that is for sure. And this Ushapti Great Bow unit, really good play here by Satsuma using the Nero's Incantation of Protection to give them 44% physical resist. Going to buy some time for those bad boys. And the Sepulchral Stalkers are being hunted pretty hard, the Eyes of the Desert, but you know, all it's going to take is Zablaski to advance. Some spearmen in that situation should be remedied more or less. You can see they're pulling back. Looks like he lost like one model. Really not that big of a deal. So Sneaky Snakes falling back. Nehekar Horseman pushing, as is the Necrosphinx. That's going to be the question too. Obviously, Zablaski does have the advantage with this kind of ranged poke, with his Ushapti plus the Sepulchral Stalker support. But the big monsters here of Satsuma are going to be pretty impactful if they can get into that back line. But a nice net coming down here from Zablaski. Be able to get the net down and just start pounding some fire here into these big boys. But the Incantation of Protection is active, and yeah, really, really nice play here, man. Satsuma's been really good with that all game. Both players with some very nice plays. Now in the back line, oh no, look at this. I was wondering where the other Sepulchral Stalkers are. So the other Stalkers snuck around the back because all Stalkers do have stock now, which was stupid. They didn't before. But these Stalkers are breaking these Ushapti down in melee. They're going to kill these ones and probably will kill these ones. So I honestly think this might have been a game-winning play from Zablaski because all three Ushapti Great Bows dying to one Sepulchral Stalker is a very, very punishing situation. So we'll see how that goes. Now back here, as far as this engagement goes, you can see the big old Sphinx is still just kind of embroiled amongst spears. They were able to put some serious hurting on the Setra of Zablaski. And the Setra here of Satsuma seems to be a little bit healthier, but the Great Bows are shooting happily. There's also Stalkers nearby with their halberds who can hold these guys back at the very least. And yeah, those as long as Zablaski micros those guys in the back line and is able to chase down those Ushapti, he's going to be completely golden indeed. So Stalker's holding him in place. Setra's going to be charging in to fight the Setra here of Satsuma. The Great Bow still pounding away. A nice backline disruption attempt here with Nehekar Horseman. This is going to be quite big, actually. If the Horseman can shut down the Great Bow fire from the Ushapti, it will then allow the monsters of Satsuma to probably win this fight. Whereas if the Great Bow still fire, it's going to be more, cohesive with the army style here of Zablaski. Setra the Imperishable of Zablaski getting a little bit of help from the Necrotechs. Eyes of the Desert fully sauced up. Look at that. Elixir of Might going down. These guys getting plus 60%. It looks like weapon damage, I think is what it was. And as far as this backline trade goes, yeah, freaking all the Ushapti Great Bows are like dying. And yeah, Sepulchral Stalkers might go down, but it's certainly been a very cost-effective trade. So Zablaski is pulling ahead in the balance of power. Nehekar Horsemen have gotten into the back line, but it looks like some spears were able to partially intercept them. But now Satsuma's coming back here with more troops, but Zablaski, like I said, still ahead in the balance of power because his Setra was annihilated by the Great Bow fire. And here you can see Zablaski is going to be able to probably take out this Necrosphinx no problem using his Necrotect. And also, Setra in tandem here with the Slick Priest of Light. So there's a couple of heroic characters beating this big chungus down, so should be able to drag it. If we look around the battlefield, here the Sepulchral Stalkers are kiting backwards, but they were finished, but at a great cost, right? These Ushapti are potentially going to die from crumbling. These ones will probably stabilize, but that's a lot of damage in this back line. And the monstrous fight with the Stalkers plus the Ushapti being able to focus down the Setra plus Necrosphinx of Satsuma. God, it's so confusing. We're able to do some work, and yeah, he's going to withdraw. And Zablaski is going to be advancing on to the grand final. So Zablaski's build using triple Great Bow plus the 2 Stalkers was able to outtrade the triple Great Bow plus the Necrosphinx. So great play, man. It was really, really good. And that's going to be Zablaski advancing to the finals. He's certainly familiar with the finals. He's going to be facing Zach B. Sane in the best of 5. And GG. GG, well played. Zeba, stay here. All right, so Zach B. Sane, if you're watching, your time is now. Let's get you in here, brother. And let's do it. So I'm going to go ahead and reset the scoreboards. We'll go over to the 4-man bracket where we will... where's that? Let us find the Zablaski. There's the button for Zablaski. Again, Zach B. Sane. Should be good. I'm excited for this one, guys. It's going to be fun. All right, back to the battle cards. So now we can update the cards here. We'll reset the scores, and that is going to be Zach B. Sane. It was actually a fun match because they had, like, you know, enough unique things in their army to make them, like, identifiable, which was good. Yeah, it was a great match. Well played to Satsuma, man. Always a pleasure having you in the tournaments. Yeah, snakes were good. I was surprised they did as much damage. Yeah, they're talking about the mirror match right now, which is cool. So I can get Zach invited to this game. I believe he's lurking here on my friends list somewhere. Okay, that's Satsuma. He's already in the game. Zach, are you offline? Zach was the name of my first dog I ever had. I'll find him on my Steam friends list. I know. We're styling, man. Oh, he's here. Okay. Invite to lobby. Great. Satsuma said I had a last-minute paranoia about infantry. He's saying, oh, that's funny. GG's. Yeah, it was a great series, man. Now for this first map here in the grand finals, let's go ahead and get this going. Go for it, Zach. Do your thing. We'll do Troll Country. We'll do a small map. We've been doing a lot of big maps. Let's do one that's a little bit smaller. Turin, will you do my idea of using if there's a whip, if there's a way? For sure. I will at some point. Yes. You know, Alistair Overeem, I'll probably root for him just because, like, I always root for the older fighter. You know, the old guy coming in and trying to make one last run. But, you know, he's had some shit in his past where, like, you know, obviously, you know, blaming his losses on, like, you know, feeling taps and things like that. But yeah, I'm a fan of the Reem. The Reem is a fun fighter to watch. Zach Estelle, yes, you do share a name with my first dog. Yeah. Yeah, Makip, it's we are in the grand finals. It's Zablaski against Zach B. Sane in today's qualifier, the 8th and final qualifier. So we haven't really gone over this yet. If we actually jump over and look at the qualifiers that we've had henceforth, not henceforth, but you guys get the picture. So Talaxon Soothsayer, Inticity, Falcon, Flying Taco, Fizztech Zero, Random Nix qualified last week. And the winner of this series will be taking the last spot in Season 5 and going on to the Big Pumbaa Finals to potentially compete for, you know, anywhere between $300 to $700, depending on the amount of sponsors. And I'll be putting in money of my own, of course. So we'll do it to it. Yeah. So that's that, guys. We're just kind of hanging out until we get there. The finals will be scheduled as soon as possible, whenever the players can, you know, do their thing. Obviously, it can be a little bit tricky. All right. Very good. Very good indeed. Yeah, we'll do a 2v2 tournament eventually as well. Yeah, no worries, guys. If Zach and Zablaski, if you guys need to take a quick break, quick 5-minute break, that's totally fine. Zyphos only played in one qualifier. Zyphos, of course, is the only other gentleman to ever win an ECL aside from Falcon. But he did not qualify this season. He did attempt once and got pretty close. He got to the semifinals and lost, but I'm sure he'll be back someday. I think he's hasn't been playing as much lately. Yeah, Hadri's had a good run as well. Hadri's was able to do well all across the season. I'm pretty sure he got to the finals at least twice and had some really good games. I mean, yeah, we'll see these guys back in future seasons. Don't worry. Don't you worry. But that is it. Total War Azeroth? Probably not. They already have Warcraft 3. I mean, I would play it, but I think there's better directions to go, Takeshi. Clans vs. Clans is fun. Yeah, I could do Clan Wars again. I'd be down for that. I could be down for that for sure. Falcon, that is a lie, bro. Of course you win. Well, we'll see. We'll see if Falcon can be the 4-time champ of VCL. That'd be pretty impressive. Because though, you know, Everchosen is a very competitive format. Usually we have some of the best players in the world there, if not the best. ECL is a more competitive format because it's an open qualifier, so you get pretty much everyone can compete, which is kind of the pretense for it being a truly competitive format. No! God, no. Dude, no, don't do it. Hadries, you definitely win games, bro. Come on. I'm not sure if the finals will be over 1 or 2 days. I'll have to talk to the players. I actually like the 1-day finals, but 1-day finals can take freaking forever. So maybe I'll split it up over 2 days. I'll probably do 2 days, like a Saturday and a Sunday. We'll see. Like what we could do with the grand finals is we could have the round of 8 be played offline, so they could just play replays, and then I could cast it, and then I'd only have to schedule with 4 people to play the next day. That would be much easier. Because that's what we did last time. I think it worked pretty well. It's not, obviously it's not live, but then there's no lag issues, and also, yeah, it's something to think about. Will there ever be a North American tourney? Yeah, eventually I'll do like a World Cup style where we'll have qualifiers for each country. Yeah, it'll be fun. So then like the top 3 players from each country in the qualifiers would then make up their team. Because before I was doing a World Cup and I started recruiting players for it, but what I found is that I would recruit a lot of players. Some teams would be huge, some would be small. Then how do you decide who gets to play in what games? You're not getting to put forward your best players at every game. Also, I was running into issues with the World Cup where certain people from the same country didn't like each other, so they refused to play with that other person. I'm not kidding. Like that was happening. I was like, Jesus. So like, it really made me rethink the format. Because then I was having to like split teams up because certain people in countries just didn't like someone, so I'd have to make like 2 teams for that country just to like, and it was just getting out of control. So I basically scrapped that idea, and now we'll probably do a qualifier World Cup and go from there. Yeah. Turin, are you intentionally flashing to black screen? No, that's just you, Sean, unfortunately. I would refresh or, potentially, yeah, I don't know what else it could be. Yeah, Blizzard isn't what it used to be. They've fallen on dark days. Okay, so Zach B. Sane is going to go Tomb Kings, and he's banning Dwarves and Vampire Counts. So 2 bans game 1, then 1 from there. Cool. Man, I miss old Blizzard. I miss them. Yeah. Those were the days, man. Those were the days. The days of old. Thank you guys for joining, by the way. It's been a fun stream so far. We've been kicking out the jams, having a good old time together. So basically, Andy, I would like how it would work for World Cup qualifiers. What I'm thinking now is every country, if a country has more than 3 participants, they can hold a tournament, like basically a small tournament. USA would probably have like a lot of people, some of the bigger countries. And then the top 3 from all those tournaments, like I would give a window. Yeah. I would give a window of time, like a month, where communities can hold an open tournament. Basically, I would host a tournament. They can join, It's going to be relatively complex, but I'm going to figure it out. Yeah. Okay, so we have High Elves against Tomb Kings. Zablaski's going to be going. Probably we're going to see Peckless, I would imagine, on the Firebird. Very, very annoying, although I don't know if I've seen Zablaski use that character. Yeah, it's going to be High Elves against Tomb Kings. So Zablaski says he's ready when you are, and Zach B. Sane is making the final tweaks as well. So say if a country had only 2 players, then that team goes straight into the knockout stages. So if a country could only field 2, I would probably require countries to have at least 3 players, like minimum. And how the World Cup would be played is it would be a Swiss format. So what we would do is we would have the World Cup teams, they would play best of 3s. Like each stream would be a best of 3 stream. So it'd be like USA versus, UK, right? You'd have 3 best of 3s between all those players. And even if like, let's say like one of the countries is up 2-0 in the other country still wants to get that 3rd win because it's a Swiss format. So the wins count as a cumulative total towards the end. So every country would play like every country more or less. And we, don't worry, I have a bunch of structures I'm working on. I'm just kind of scheming right now. But yeah. The Peckless. Hey. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed the overview video of the Vampire Coast. Yeah, I was just talking about why I think they're the strongest. It wasn't like giving you too much about how to play them, but it's more just my opinion on why they're so good. Would you allow players to represent countries? Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'd be willing to make like some exceptions for people who've like, you know, but ideally, like, I want to keep people playing for the countries they're from or they've lived in, you know. But yeah, like, obviously, if you live for a few years somewhere and then you move, like, I just want to prevent the mercenary element because I think the truest thing of sports is like fighting for your actual country. So, yeah. Yeah, group stage and then knockout stage. Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of ways we could go about it. I would organize it over Discord. You guys will hear about it when it happens. There will be announcements in Discord and everything. Well, Guac, in that case, like, you know, we could potentially work out something where, like, if there's a couple smaller countries that can't form, like, a big country, like, we could throw you guys on a team together. Yeah, like, I'm willing to make exceptions because I want it to be inclusive. Like, I want people to be able to play, you know? Oh, man. Stretching the old handout. All right, guys. I'm on the right screen, right? Not like there's no screen blocker up. Okay. So this is it, the grand finals to decide who shall be the big Pumbaa going on to the grand finals of Eternal Challenger League Season 5. So front line's going to be Rangers, double Flamespire Phoenix, certainly very good on a small map. These bad boys have that really OP rebirth. Bombardments are very good against tightly packed skeletons, and they have AP and fire damage. Pretty good. Aside from that, it's going to be Techless. Double Handmaiden of the Everqueen with their AP missile shots. Certainly quite nice. And that is pretty much it with a couple Reavers in the back line. Yeah, I love that build from the Hiles. Very, very gangster stuff. And out for Zach Bisane and his Tomb Kings. Front line is going to be Skeleton Spearmen into the Sunset. Secondary line is going to be Sepulchral Stalkers. Backed up with Necropolis Knights. Horsemen, double Necropolis Knight. Okay, so it's a very cav-heavy build. Arc in the black here, and a Tomb Prince. Yeah, it's a solid army, honestly. Both players certainly have some teeth. No predictions. The Isle of Man, could they have a team? So I used to... yeah, I've actually met quite a few people from the Isle of Man, interestingly enough, because I worked at an international sporting event as one of my previous jobs, and the Isle of Man had a team there, so I got to meet a bunch of people from there. It was a great experience. Great people. If memory serves. I think it was Isle of Man. Either that or it was some other kind of smaller place. And yeah, a couple white lines on the flanks as well, it looks like, or maybe just one. I think he probably just had a little bit of an odd offset amount of money, so instead of Rangers, he just got the white lines for his last pick. Rangers will trade effectively. They're able to cut through Spearmen, somewhat well. And obviously the two Handmaids of the Everqueen, I actually like them a lot. They do fire damage with their ranged shots, so sniping undead Tomb King's Lords is actually very, very effective. How's it going, Warhawk? Welcome. Welcome. What do you call people from there, men? Interesting stuff, Doff. It's quite a question to ask. I'm sure somebody in the stream can answer it. Good to see you, Doff. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're doing well. It'd be pretty epic if, like, the Isle of Man won the World Cup in Total War Warhammer. Just, like, defeats everyone. Irish Joe, you never had your country mentioned? Well, here it is, man. I actually have a pin because it was at the event I worked with, it was a tradition of all the different sports teams to exchange pins with other countries, and I actually got one from the Isle of Man. I have it somewhere packed away. It's pretty cool. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. Yeah, white lines for style points for sure. Send a message. They got their fashionable lion capes and all that good stuff. It looks like both players say ready. Oh, maybe they were saying that from the lobby before. So the Sepulchral Stalkers, not too... I mean, I guess they're okay against the Phoenixes. Can poke them down. One of the big winners, Skeleton Chariots, are going to be gross here. They'll be really good at cutting through Rangers. Like, really just massive damage. And obviously, Necropolis Knights will be quite dominant as well. Yeah, I feel like this Tomb King build might be a little bit tricky. I mean, it's really going to have to be very efficient in Flamespire Phoenix play. So the Flamespire Phoenix flying over here. Going to be dropping some bows here. Oh, is he going to do it on top of these guys? No, he's lining it up. Yeah, you can see, look at this. Zablasky with the Tokyo Drift. Oh, he misses it a little bit. No, he gets one at the end. Okay, he's corrected course. More bombardments coming from the chicken. More droppings? No. That's not bad. 10 Skeleton Spearmen, 20% HP damage. Call it a minor success. So here, Nehekar Horsemen are going to be slamming into Rangers, who are pretty terrible against cavalry charges. So obviously, the big sneaky snake core of Zach Bisane. Zach has a really gross Death Star. Like, I don't know how the Hiles are going to fight that. I mean, they have Reavers, they have some Handmaidens and whatnot, but, like, how are they going to fight this Death Star of Necropolis Knights with a Necrotect and a Tomb Prince? chariot support. Look at the damage the frickin' chariots did there. My goodness. The chariots running through these rangers and doing some pretty huge damage for sure. So here comes a fiery convocation from Teclis, it would appear. It'll do some okay damage. I mean, it needs to go more of a side angle. I definitely would have used it to just delete some spears, because, yeah, that was a little bit underwhelming. Maybe he thought he was going to catch something else there, but the fighting is underway, and the Rangers are holding, backed up here by the Phoenixes, and also the Handmaidens of the Everqueen are pretty good at melee, and they're being used to take out the Skeleton Chariots. In the back, Teclis just using the Sword of Teclis, keeping the Silver Helms in reserve. All right, Silver Helms can actually do some blocking, and the other Flamespire Phoenix is now going to be coming back. Now, these engagements will probably go well for the forces of the High Elves. A little bit of a misplay here by Zablasky, leaving the White Lions out into the Shadow Realm. Definitely should pull those guys back. And he does very quickly, so not really going to be punished that badly for that misplay there. Nice bounce out here. Zablasky is able to rotate out some Silver Helms and get a nice charge here on the Skeleton Horseman Archers. And the High Elf battle lines are actually holding surprisingly well. The Rangers, you know, not the tankiest unit in the world, but of course they're holding their own here. Getting crumped down, but buying time for the Phoenixes to punch back and do some decent HP damage against Necropolis Knights, which are afflicted by the Enfeebling Foe ability. And the two Handmaidens of the Everqueen appear to be fighting skeletons, but I think they were originally going after these bad boys here. So Skeleton Spearmen are now in the back line here. Rangers and White Lions are clearing out a lot of chaff, which is certainly very nice for the High Elves. High Elves here definitely want to deal with as much chaff as they can, because if they're able to get us around and isolate Necropolis Knights and cycle charge them with the big birds, that's going to be great. And it looks like Zablasky might be going for a bombing run with the Phoenix. It looks like you can see him microing it, thinking about it. Yeah, maybe going to go over here, we're not sure. Ominous Crow, thank you for the $20 donation. Really appreciate it. And he says, thanks for the good content. I got you covered, man. We'll keep you entertained into the wee hours of the morning, my friend. But the Lions are back in business. Narnia is back up in this hoe. One of the Flamespire Phoenixes in a bit of a precarious situation. It's kind of trapped amongst Necropolis Knights, who of course do poison damage, lowering its speed down to 59, and it's also being shanked in the back here by a Tomb Prince. Tomb Princes, of course, are excellent anti-large tools. Looks like a Spirit Leech going down. I think Spirit Leech going down and some of the Silver Helms back here, or something or other. And Liber Mortis is also active, so there's going to be a huge physical resist buff, which won't help them against Phoenixes, but Zablasky losing this Flamespire Phoenix this early is quite painful. But, I mean, again, the Flamespire Phoenix can cackle, it can get its rebirth, and that's certainly, you know, what he's probably banking on at this point, because that's a big loss. Sepulchral Stalkers are still super healthy. Necropolis Knights have taken superficial damage for the most part. I mean, half health. And, oh, the Phoenix gets Shadow Realmed by the Eyes of the Desert. As soon as it broke formation and tried to get away, it was like praying to the High Elven gods, like, save me, Anakin, I'm too weak. And just the Sepulchral Stalkers just totally force lightning him there, and he did not enjoy that at all. So here comes the fiery convocation. The mighty bird, the Dark Phoenix rides. Not that great, though. It doesn't do much damage against these type of units, but I suppose it's better than nothing. But losing that guy, very, very painful stuff. And now the Eyes of the Desert are going after the Handmaidens of the Everqueen, who need to get on top of these Stalkers. There needs to be some, you know, melee on these guys or something to just shut them down, because they are out of control for sure. Why do I say Narnia? Because Lions, you know, Lion the Witch and the Wardrobe, Narnia, White Lions, you get the rest. I don't need to explain it, but man, that bird just got dunked on. Now the other bird is kind of suffering a similar fate. It's like the Necropolis Knights are just so good. The classic King of the Dead playstyle using the Necropolis Knights, and yeah, they're tanking hard. I mean, you have to look at the High Elf army. There's not much here that's good against them. Rangers are terrible against them. Phoenixes are average at best against them. They're like, wasn't too much that could really wreck the Necropolis Knights, except for just grinding them down and trying to do it that way. But I think that was a really strong pick by Zach B. Sane. And here you can see the Handmaiden, the Everqueen, is now in combat here, and there's White Lions piling in, which will be very good. White Lions will be able to chop down Eyes of the Desert, get through that 80 armor, no problem. And yeah, you can see these guys getting chopped pretty good, taking some HP damage. Handmaiden doing what maidens do, just being a maiden. And over here in this engagement, the Flamespire Phoenix fighting shoulder to shoulder with Teclis, or wing to wing, or whatever you want to say. Teclis forced back by a Spirit Leech and the Blade of Setep. And the Flamespire Phoenix is pretty much going to make its last stand here. Basically, I think what's going to happen is he may leave the Phoenix and just hope for a rebirth, but oh, nice surround there by Zach B. Sane. Zach is able to get a full surround using the Skeleton Horseman Archers to pin in the Phoenix, which is allowing it to take substantially more damage there from the Tomb Prince. And, ooh, it's broken. That's not good. That's probably game. Yeah, that bird's going to break. I mean, it's pretty close to the edge of the battlefield, too. I mean, it could still rally. It could still rally for sure. Yeah. We will see. So there goes the Flamespire Phoenix. Will it rally? And it does. So, yeah. Not punished too badly by the map, but honestly, just like my early prediction, like right when the battle started, I was like, I don't know what is going to be able to stop these Necropolis Knights. I feel like they're just going to rampage through everything, and that is exactly what they did. A Death Star, Tomb Prince, Arkin with Liber Mortis, just rolling dirty through all these High Elf assets. And that's that. A solid performance there by Zach B. Sane, as well as Zablaski. I feel like Zablaski's build was a little bit ill-equipped to deal with this. But it was a good game nonetheless. Handmaidens are back, or at least one of them. And the bird's coming back. I mean, the bird is the word, and we'll see if he's able to get this regrowth here. Or the bird reborn. I don't think that would be enough to save him. I mean, yeah, the Handmaiden's still shooting. It's tricky. It's tricky. The Bony boys with the W, I believe so. I mean, stranger things have happened, but that balance of power is pretty danger close to army losses. There's a really good play here, too, by Zach. He's going after Teclis, who will trigger army losses, and then he just doesn't have to deal with the Phoenix. And the Phoenix actually died also. Yeah. It was an awesome build by Zablaski. I loved it with the double Handmaiden, but I just don't think it had the stopping power. Now, I think maybe if you had double Noble, like on Chariot, or double Noble with like some healing. I know nobody likes seeing that, but yeah, I think that could have been more effective. Like to kind of match the Death Star with your own mass. All right, that is game one going to Zach B. Sane on quite a tear today. Well played to him. This is best of 5. We'll see how this unfolds. For the next map, we shall do the Sword of Torgold. Map set. Now we just hang out and chat. Enjoy life together. Enjoy our lives together here in chat. The Stalker's ROR just served dessert. Yeah, it did. Yeah. Oh boy. We're doing it, boys. Boys and girls. Girls being my lovely wife. I'm sure is watching from somewhere in the house. She's not watching. No. It's treason, man. Yeah, guys, it's good. That was a good matchup. Handmaidens, I see the niche of them. I mean, they can certainly poke down such units, but I mean, I feel like just going like Peckless with like a dragon or Alariel with like double Noble on Chariot plus like some other AP assets would just be better. Yeah, it's a tricky one. It is a tricky one indeed. Yeah, maybe some like spear infantry too could have been a big deciding factor. Like maybe some Silver and Guard or something. I don't know. Silver and Guard would have been able to tank pretty well, but their damage output isn't great. Phoenix Guard are also good, but if your opponent goes with caskets, it can be very punishing against your Phoenix Guard. Yep, they're talking about it. Discussing their matchup. Oh, that's too bad, Kyle. Yeah. It's the nature of the beast, man. When's this game going to go on sale? I have no idea. Probably, I mean, what sales are coming up? We had the summer sale. What's the next one? I'm not really sure. Heresy. Yeah, Spearman could be something too. I don't know. Falcon could probably tell you about that matchup. I don't play High Elves very much. I'm a little bit of an amateur at them, but if you're still here, Falcon, what do you do against Tomb Kings as High Elves? I'll be right back, by the way. I'm going to get some water. All right, guys, I'm back. Got some water. Life is good. High Elves counter Tomb King's kind of hard if you do it right. Well, how do you go about that? Peckless is annoying. Yeah, Peckless is very annoying. Super tough to kill. Even if he gets like fully surrounded by hard counters, you have the Potion of Koroi plus regrowth and like all of his disgusting ward saves. Because Peckless has ward save, physical resist, and also the attuned with magic trait. On a small map, Phoenix Guard. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's something to consider. What's that, guys? Oh, 1. Yeah, just 1 ban from here on out. Because in a best of 5, it's a tricky thing. Dude, if I could play the Walker Texas Ranger soundtrack on stream, I 100% would. In the eyes of the Ranger. I remember you talked about Walker Texas Ranger, and I came across it on my TV channel in the UK. The channel was called CBS Justice. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Falcon. Yeah, Bolt Throwers, Dragons. I think they're all pretty good there for sure. Phoenix Guard with Bolt Thrower formation. I can see that being impactful. So Zablaski's going to go Coast, and he's banning Wood Elves. And now they're going to be going with the next picks. I mean, Coast. I mean, oh, okay. Zablaski's just gonna get dwarfed. I mean, Zach Busain's gonna go dwarves. Why would he not go dwarves? Yeah. All right, guys. This is the hardest matchup. We saw someone try and beat dwarves with Empire earlier. Let's see if. I mean, Coast get pretty hard countered by dwarves. Like, this is their one bad matchup. Yeah. Frostheart Phoenix, yeah, it might be okay. I mean, the Flamespire is so much better because of the Rebirth, though, and the bombardments. Yeah. Yeah, I actually do like Turin in that matchup. Sunfang can wreck the Tomb Guard and Skeleton Spears, and obviously he's a great duelist as well against Constructs. I agree with you, Falcon. I think Tyrion's good in that matchup. They've wronged us! Yeah, if I play any copywritten music on my stream, YouTube will immediately, if it recognizes it, it will just shut down my stream. Like, on Twitch, they let you do it, and then they just, like, mute your stream afterwards, but YouTube is much more strict. Like, YouTube will karate chop your stream. It'll be like Steven Seagal just snapping your neck. Yeah. Yeah, there are some very inventive Coast builds. There are. It's hard. It's, like, you gotta work so much harder than the Dwarf player, but it can be rewarding. We're on a medium-sized map. You know what? I'm gonna satisfy my need to look here and look at the armies. I can't wait any longer. Shetland Apache, the great one himself, saying mostly rushes with depth guard and such. Yeah, I can see that being the case. I wish I had some sneaky inside knowledge, Wookie, but I do not. I do not. No Sabaton, no. I mean, YouTube is really, really uptight about that stuff. Like, I was really nervous today because in the Vampire Coast video I put out talking about, you know, the faction as a whole. I had like a 3-second clip of a Rob Zombie song just as a meme, and I was like, oh, I bet you that's going to get the video scrapped. But it actually didn't. Like, you can get away with like very short clips, but if you play a whole song, you're going to have a bad time. Yeah, dwarves are pretty strong at ultra funds. I agree. I don't know what the point is where they get better, but yeah, the more funds you give dwarves, the better, because their units are just so durable and they can defend themselves easier with more numbers, obviously. Yeah, so that was the Skinwolf art that you guys are seeing was made by. Let me pull up him, see if he gave me a name he wanted me to shout out in chat. I mean, it just said HM. That's all it said. I don't have any other name for him, but it says HM. If you're watching stream today, man, thank you for this. The Condom Wolf ad is great. Yeah, there's like public domain music, like a lot of classical music you could do, you know, but yeah. Dig through the ditches. Yeah, it was the Rob Zombie song. Yeah, you can get away with like 3 to 5 seconds usually. That's like a sample. It's considered a sample, so YouTube like lets it slide. But if it's any longer, you get dicked pretty good. When will these condoms be available to sell? I don't know. I got to talk to my Skinwolf marketing agent, my manufacturing Famir. We'll figure it out. All right, so a bold. I mean, Zach's build. Interesting. Yeah. It's more or less what I expected. Zablaski's build is cool as well. Zablaski is a really, really good Coast player too. So, you know, if anybody's going to have innovative Coast play, it's going to be him. Yeah, game soundtracks are totally fine. So, like, if you've ever watched one of Falcon's streams, he listens to the soundtrack from Heroes of Might and Magic. So, like, you can do that stuff, which is pretty cool. Honestly, I could listen to, like, the Doom soundtrack with you guys in between games. I could be playing the Total War Warhammer soundtrack. Like, that stuff's usually fine. I mean, there's some game companies which I think, like, Nintendo or has had a history of, like, being more strict about it. But, yeah. The Flight of the Valkyries is really good, yeah. I used to start my streams with, like, classical music. Ah, some delicious water. Goodness gracious. Bastion, thank you for the birthday wishes. Though it's not my birthday, I do appreciate it. What if they mind snipe me? I know. They're going to telepathically look through my eyes and see what their opponent's bringing. I don't know if it would matter too much. Dwarves can kind of just bring the same thing, and Coast is the one who has to figure it out, in my experience. We will see. The first podcast episode is going to be coming out tomorrow. I recorded it with Aerocrastic last night, and yeah, I just got to edit. I just got to clip out one part and then render it and throw it up on YouTube, and we're good to go. It was really fun. the podcast subject was the most annoying units in Total War Warhammer for each faction. So we go through every single faction and we just talk about what units annoy us and why. There was a couple that don't really have annoying units, like Bretonnia. Like, we just had to talk about good units, but there are some factions where you can really talk about things that just make your blood boil. We thought it was like a funny discussion to have, so hopefully you guys will enjoy it. It's about 40 minutes long because we go through every single faction, but that'll be up tomorrow. Tomorrow morning. Yeah, it's really hot. Bad covers? Yeah, I could. Although I think sometimes covers get sniped as well. All right, so Zach B. Sane actually changing his build a little bit. Zablaski's build seems more or less static, like he's keeping the same thing. This map is pretty good for both factions, relatively open field. There's a bit of a ravine in the middle, so you can kind of avoid focus fire down there. Yeah. This is the Grand Finals. Yes, correct. We are on game 2 of the Grand Finals. The first victory did go to Zach B. Sane and his Tomb Kings. Yeah, like, the Grail Relic, though, isn't annoying, though. It's just, like, Haggard doesn't equate to annoying. It's, like, funny and janky, but it doesn't, like, annoy you when you play against it. We're talking shit like Chameleon Skanks, you know? Like, that kind of stuff. Way Watchers. Certain wagons. Yeah. That kind of stuff. Trying to kill Iron Breakers with low AP units. The most annoying unit that we talked about for Vampirates, for me, it was Luther Harkin on his Terrorgeist. For Aerocrastic, I think it was like... it might have been... No, he had a different choice. I can't remember what it was. Was it Count Noctilus? It might have been Count Noctilus. I'm not sure. For Skaven, the most annoying unit we had was... what was it? I don't want to spoil it. Yeah, you guys will see it tomorrow. I could pull it up and look, but we'll hang tight. Takeshi, so like we're talking more like both hard to play against and also just like irritating, like something that makes you nerd rage, you know? Yeah, this is best of 5, correct. A bold move by Zablaski here, picking the old Coastaroo into the dwarves. Well, or being counterpicked by dwarves or allowing that to happen, but yeah. Fey Enchantress can be annoying. For Bretonnia, I think... Yeah, I can't remember what I said. Yeah. For Skaven, I think we agreed on Hell Pit Abomination. I'll give you one more. It was Hell Pit because of the stupid regeneration. Like, just think about how many times you guys have raged when a Hell Pit Abomination, like, rages. Like, rebirths, you know? Like, right when you think you're about to win the game and it just heals, like, 2,000 HP and it just cackles in your face. Yeah. We were talking about from a multiplayer perspective, though, so not so much campaign, because campaign's very different, all right? Zablaski is ready. Yeah, he's had the same build the entire time. He's just been sitting and chilling here. I definitely enjoy the build. I think it's very cool. I mean, it has many of the elements that I think are quite good against dwarves. We have a donation from Lou Sassel. As dang, happy birthday, Turin. Thank you for the 25, Lou. Hope you're doing well, man. And yeah, you know, I must be 100 at this point with all the birthdays I've had since July. I'm an ancient being. Infinite wisdom. Best cheap unit. Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of subject matter we can cover. If you guys tune into the podcast tomorrow, just leave your suggestions in that section because I'll be looking at that for a future podcast. And also, if there's guests you want to see on the podcast. Aerocrastic was the guest on the first one, and of course, I'm open to you know, your suggestions. Yeah. Dwarves are a hard counter to a couple matchups, yeah. They really can be. They are indeed. Oh, you got me with the name! Oh! Oh! You guys got me. I've been got. Your donation got me. That's pretty funny, man. Cheers, man. You're the first. I think you're one of the first to get me. There's been a couple others, but it's been a long time. Yeah. The podcast will be up tomorrow, and it's not going to be a traditional podcast in that I'm going to have it on like Apple and all these websites. It's just going to be on YouTube, but you guys obviously can listen to it on YouTube, and it'll be up. Oh, Glacy. Glacy, thank you for becoming a member. Now I'm all paranoid. I'm like reading everyone's name like, what is that? What are the phonetics of that? Glacy, thank you for becoming a member on the channel. Much appreciated. Welcome to the Haggard Legion. The Dukes of Haggard. You are now part of the part of the family there. Oh yeah, buddy. Someone's like Worth. Thank you so much, guys, for all your support. That's so freaking funny. There's a little bit of a delay here. Let's get this party started. I gotta put a limit on army picking. Like make it like 5 minutes or something. It's been a while. It's been a while here. The Dukes of Haggard. Yeah, I know. Just throwing a wild question. Anybody know a gaming laptop? Honestly, Andy, I would just get, unless you're really restricted with like what you can have space-wise, just get a desktop, dude, for gaming. Like a lot of people, even with like good gaming laptops, run into like overheating issues with this game, and yeah. I prefer beer. Beer is probably my favorite. Although my favorite alcohol I've ever had was in Poland. When I was in Poland during the winter, I had a mulled mead and a mulled wine. So it's like this like honeyed mead that is served hot. And dude, it is just like the nectar of the gods. It's so nice because it was like, you know, snowing. We were in Old Town Warsaw. And it was just, dude, it was so good. I love mulled mead and mulled wine like served hot. Oh, it's so good. So fucking good. Oh my God. Yeah. I enjoyed The Witcher. Geralt of Rivia. Speaking of, yeah, I enjoyed The Witcher on Netflix. Yeah, it was fun. I mean, come on, Henry Cavill's one of us. We got to support him, man. He plays Total War Warhammer and says tabletop. Pretty cool stuff, man. Star Watcher, welcome to the Dukes of Haggard. I think that's one of my favorite ones. The Dukes of Haggard. Star Watcher 73, thank you so much and welcome. Honestly, I like all kinds of beer. I've never tasted French wine, that's correct. I like all kinds of beer, like I like light beers, I like Guinness, like thick beers like that. I like, you know, hoppy beers, red ales, like I'm kind of a peasant. I just enjoy it all. Yeah. The Haggard Harem. Thank you so much. All right, guys. It is time. The screen blocker must go. As much as we all love the condom wolf, he's served his purpose and now must go back to the mountains to rest. And now we're just waiting. We're just hanging out. Don't worry, guys. I got the blocker. Uliani, welcome to the Dukes of Haggard. Ride now. Get your 1969 Dodge Charger. Get them aviators on, man. It's time. Yeah, I've had Jameson's before. Yeah, whiskey's not bad. I don't like hard alcohol as much, though. I like beer more. Like, I like the thickness of beer. Which is a name that sounds very familiar indeed. I was, you know, just kind of trying to figure out ideas for my podcast and how I was going to kind of structure it and get things going. And I saw that, I came across the podcast that you're on and was checking that out. So cheers, man. Cheers. Thank you for your support, man. Appreciate it, Kyle. Now, you're about to witness a very difficult matchup. This is the matchup which is the forces of the Vampire Coast against dwarves. Now, typically a very, very tough counter. But what Zablaski's done is he split up his forces all across the map. You can see here we do have carronades into the sunset. So 4 carronades, but they're all spread out. Because dwarves are slow. They're a stationary, static faction. So having them advancing all over the place is... they're going to have to go one at a time. They can't like compromise your whole gun line at once, which is certainly very good. And yeah, that's the life, man. That's the good stuff right there. A couple deck droppers up in the sky, and the reason why you bring the deck droppers is just to sit and shoot at the Slayers. They do good damage against Slayer type units. You would think you'd want AP against dwarves, but Slayers are one of the biggest threats in this matchup for sure. So yeah, that's it. Double Gunnery One of the Crabs, very proficient in melee and also very, very good with their ranged attacks, so they can snipe Dwarf Lords, characters, gyrocopters, and can also be very, very solid in melee combat. And the last pick, I would imagine, is going to be a Lord with a pistol. Yeah, a pistol Vampire Fleet Admiral, which, again, really good for kiting and poking the dwarves apart. So Nick, thank you for becoming a member of the Dukes of Haggard. Appreciate it. Welcome to the channel, man. Enjoy the emojis. We're going to be reworking those soon to match whatever title we go with. But I do appreciate it, Nick. I too am named Nick. Hey, FPS Kyle, Nick, you guys are aces, man. Thank you for your support. Yeah, thank you for your support. Much appreciated. And also, if one of the mods in chat could drop a link to Discord. I know a couple people were asking for the multiplayer Discord. That'd be much appreciated. And now for the Dwarven army, very standard. It's going to be Quarrelers and Thunders. Thunders deal with armor. Quarrelers are able to just pound down Mourngulls and really just send them to the Shadow Realm. And yeah, you don't need elite infantry. Dwarf warriors can do the trick. And Slayers are really the aces. Slayers can like chase down Vampire Coast assets. They can kill crabs. They can kill pretty much anything they get their paws on the Vampire Coast roster. And Peak Gate Guard. What the hell is this? We have a wild Peak Gate Guard hiding here in the trees. You can see it. Look at them with their glorious hammers. I wonder what this is like designed against. Is this like a tech piece against like Depth Guard? Probably so. I think one of the common picks in this matchup is a Depth Guard Mourngull Rush. So maybe that's why we're seeing the Peak Gate Guard here. Hey Nick, you're very welcome, man. And there's also a couple Mourngulls. Mourngulls on the flanks are really good because if you can force the dwarves to advance. So the dwarves advance on a cannon, right? They are not going to play the artillery game. What you then do is you get your Mourngulls and wrap around the back once they're kind of late game, you know, kind of scattered. And the Mourngulls are excellent at picking off Dwarven infantry. They have good AP. They heal themselves. Bonus versus infantry. It's very, very solid for sure. So yeah, that's it. The tree dwarves, yes, the most dangerous of their folk. A rare species, a subspecies of Dowie. Living in the trees. Homemade pierogi and chilled vodka in Warsaw Old Town. Yeah, dude, that's the life right there. That is the life. It's going to be hard for Zablaski, but I mean, he banned Wood Elves. Like, I feel like Coast is good against Wood Elves. And Zach B. Sand, I don't think is even an elf player, so very strange that he would like... But, you know, part of me is thinking that Zablaski might be trying to bait dwarves out because he has something that he's practiced a lot and he's very good at it. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be a tricky one. Currently, Zach is up 1-0. He was able to win the first game with his Tomb Kings, and now the battle's underway. The cannons are lurking. Oh, guys, the elusive Dowie Vanguard. Up in the trees, we have the miners with their pickaxes, sipping on some sweet Bugman's brew while these guys wait for the Vampire Coast to stop protecting their cannons. But of course, the Carronades are going to be shooting into the Rangers and the Thunders in the beginning. I mean, yeah, it's tricky. You have to kill the Slayers and the guns to make the Mourngulls be efficient. That's one of the trickiest aspects of that, so... We will see how this unfolds. We will see. And over here, Jack Choppers swooping around the side, shooting at the lightly armored Ranger. Certainly a good usage. They are shielded, but if you shoot them in the backs, the shields actually don't apply. And look, the Gunnery Whites are giving the enhanced ballistics to the Vampire Coast cannons, which I think is pretty gangster, but the Dwarves are on their inexorable march across the map. Basically just going to be going after each cannon one at a time, two at a time in this case, and trying to shut them down. Though the Vampire Fleet Admiral has something to say about it. She does summon some zombies here, and the Vampire Fleet Admiral, of course, does have a pistol, and you don't have to conserve your ammo because the pistol on the Gunnery Whites is pretty much unlimited because of the extra powder. Like, you're not going to run out in this game. You are not going to run out. Funny enough, Zach Bisane said the Peak Gate Guard are so good in this matchup, says Falcon, quoting Zach Bisane. Well, we'll see. So Rangers are being used to shoot at Deck Choppers. Deck Choppers are trying to team up on Quarrelers. Quarrelers, of course, will be able to outtrade them. So the microed Deck Choppers are going to have to flee. And the Peak Gate Guard still just hiding in the trees. The elusive Dwarven Vanguard back here. Oh no, the dwarves were discovered up in the hill. So the Dwarven miners who took Vanguard were discovered, and the Mourngulls are basically just going to tear them to shreds. We see dwarves just flying around. So the Halberd support line, no surprise, is going to be taken out, and this is where things get really, really scary. Because the Dwarven Slayers, just with full chubs for Grungni here, are going to be coming back here, just power Mohawks, chasing down this Carronade crew. And 20 speed against 40 speed, so obviously twice the speed. The Slayers will be able to catch them and give them the dirty, and it's kind of the inevitable fate of most of these artillery crews, just getting chased down by Slayers across the map. Now, as far as backline harass goes, Deck Droppers are doing okay, but this is like what I was saying about Mourngulls. You save them until your opponent's kind of out of position, you pull them in. However, Zach Bisane, with really, really good presence of mind, is going to be leaving some Slayers to defend these guys. So, you know, the Mourngulls ambush, obviously, they're going to get a good jump. Anti-infantry, armor piercing, and the Slayers are going to respond immediately. Zach Bisane really on top of his micro today. Doesn't seem to react too late to anything. Zablaski needs to run. Mourngulls are faster than Slayers, but not by much, so you really have to be on top of your micro and clicking to make sure that happens. And the Slayers are about to catch that cannon crew. I think that's both crews. Yeah. So, this one Slayer, looks like they finished off the other crew, or one of them did, and now they're going after this Carronade. No, they're both right here. Okay, so the Carronade crews are falling back. Zablaski's basically going to have to form a new Helm's Deep, come over here, defend these two cannons. You know, at the end of the day, what he's trying to do is just drag the dwarves through the mud. He's trying to just make them march across the battlefield while being harassed by the gunnery wights and the Morngulls, and really hoping that over time he's going to be able to really, you know, get these dwarves down to a bit of a low point. So, Vampire Fleet Admiral Pistols running in. She's got her cutlass, going to be getting in melee combat and should be able to deal with these coilers. Yeah, it'll definitely keep him from shooting a little bit, and the deck droppers will, of course, be lending some supporting fire to try and put these bad boys down. The dwarves still slow pushing. Here you can see the dwarf warriors are pushing against these zombie powered deckhand mobs, but man, the dwarves are just so healthy. Like, if you look across the board, and like slayers are such a pain to deal with too. Like, I feel like the deck droppers should be just saying like screw the coilers and just going after the slayers, because the slayers are about to just go dick deep in this entire Vampire Coast army. Like, I don't know what's going to be able to stop them back here. Like, sure as hell not the gunnery wights. Zombies can kind of grind them down through attrition, but even still, Dragonback Slayers have 41 melee defense against like what, like 14 melee attack on the zombies. Yeah, and over here, the bats up in the sky, you know, doing their best, but the dwarves are just pulling ahead on the bounce of power. Despite Zablaski's best efforts, this matchup is just so hard, and I feel like this ECL should be renamed to like just a series of difficult matchups being played and people counterpicking themselves, because dwarves are... Though I've won this matchup against very good dwarf players, I haven't been able to win it. It's really difficult, man. It's really difficult. The builds I've had the most success with are using like Luther Harkin on foot. Definitely using a lot of cannons is very good against dwarves. But yeah, you know, it is what it is. Rune Lord beating down the zombies here. Gunnery wights running. Slayer's killing this cannon. The other cannon's going to die shortly after. You can see some Morngulls back here, but the Morngulls cannot defend you from that. And it looks like these Slayers were able to finish off whatever they were chasing. Up to 12 kills, 1 kill for each of the crews there. Is there a tactical reserve in the back line? Is there a dreaded tactical reserve? I don't think so. It looks like both players have it on top of microing everything. And the Peak Gate Guard basically just being useless. You know, but, I mean, they're so far ahead in every other respect. The Peak Gate Guard have not fought this entire game up until now, and the dwarves are still winning. Like, a 1,500 gold unit just not used at all. Comes in, gets like 20 kills, and he could literally just not have the Peak Gate Guard and probably still win this game. And, you know, the fact that they're still there, like, that would be such an issue for the Vampire Coast to deal with. Celostra on foot be okay. I feel like Crab Celostra might be better if properly supported. Yeah, it's hard to say. Anvil Rune Lords are okay. They give magic resist to your whole army, so that can be pertinent against a couple different units. But yeah, he does have one on the Anvil here, which is quite cool. Certainly makes him a little bit better at fighting, you know, single entities. So right now, Coast is basically in full kite mode, running in every direction, but it's only a matter of time before the dwarves catch you, which is not something you hear terribly often. In this case, Slayers will 100% catch that Carronade crew. Those decrepit zombie legs are not going to be able to get too far. And here the Morngulls are hiding on the edge of the map, the Peak Gate Guard lurking in the shadows, and Slayers just chasing down the Gunnery Wights here. I don't remember if Gunnery Wights 360 shoot. I don't think they do. I think they can shoot while they're chasing. But, yeah. Having to go into full kite mode. Carronade crews are running, but again, Slayers will catch them, and all 3 cannons are going to die, and then it's just a disaster from there. Coast is basically splitting up all over the map, but I really think it's a foregone conclusion. Peak Gate Guard was a psychological threat. Hadri said, okay, fair play. You know, getting into the minds of your opponent here. But the Peak Gate Guard just kind of waddling back right now. Going to be taking some shots. At least they have 100 armor, so this type of firepower isn't going to be too punishing. And here comes the Peak Gate Guard moving across the battlefield. The proud Dawi lines are quite healthy. And, yeah, I mean, what do we have? A couple Slayers here. Just keep going, man. Like, it's going to be such a slog to get rid of these Slayers. Looks like some Morngulls are going to be sent in to try and save the Carronade crew, but that's definitely not going to work out. They're disintegrating, and now the Slayers get to fight Morngulls, which is another target they're excellent against. You're kind of seeing a recurring motif in this matchup, and that Slayers are extremely good against all of these bad boys. And yeah, now they're just chopping away. Definitely just chasing the Morngulls would be an appropriate play. And the Dwarves are just reforming ranks right now. Obviously, the coast is you know, a little bit segmented all over the battlefield, but Morngulls, are they taking any damage? Doesn't look like it. Slayers are a little bit slower, 5 speed. Yeah, Slayer's maneuver time, I know. It's wild. Balance of power pretty heavily in the favor of the Dawi. I really don't see any chance for the coast. I mean, Zablaski, of course, is a very good player and is going to play to the best of his abilities, but I mean, he's trying to reform his ranks right now. You can tell he's trying to centralize his army, like bring these guys over here to unify with these guys and maybe make one sort of a last centralized push, but it's more or less a foregone conclusion at this point. I mean, dude, he did this to himself, though. You can't feel bad for Zablaski. He allowed this to happen. Like, Coast really only has one mega hard counter in the entire game, like mega hard, and that is dwarves. Everything else coast can beat, but dwarves is like the one that is very difficult for them, like very, very difficult. And you know, he did this to himself, man. Must have, you know, thought he could win it. I mean, it's not 100% over, but it likely is. I mean, Slayers, like, even if you kill these Slayers, they're still getting so much damage here on your Gunnery White. See the anti-large attacks chipping away at this bad boy's HP. A couple more Morgul's coming in as well, crawling at a very slow pace. The Slayers are just so tough to drag down. I think there's still some left, too. Yeah, look at this. 50 Slayers here. I think there's even more. Yeah, 51 Dragonback Slayers. There's no freaking way Zablasky can win this. Like, 1% chance, if even. It's generous. I mean, unless the Dwarves just methodically marched units in one by one with some Reaganomics and, you know, let the coast do it. Now they're exchanging range shots. And the Slayers over there fighting Morgul's on the edge of the map. No surprises. Dwarves just kind of, you know, maintaining their formation. The Gunnery White, I mean, more or less does have, you know, a pretty serious amount of ammo. The extra powder is going to be very, very good. Yeah, more powder here, you can see. Replenishing the ammunition of these units with the enhanced ballistics. You know what would probably be a good idea for Zablasky? Not Zablasky, but for Zach Bisane? If Zach just gets his Dragonback Slayers and chases the Fleet Admiral, like, the Fleet Admiral's the same speed as Slayers, more or less. You just use a Rune of Wrath and Ruin, chase him down, and it's not going to be able to get away. A couple Slayers on the edge of the map, I mean, still going. I think there's a few left. But those Slayers definitely paid for themselves. I mean, they've done great damage. And the last of his kind, a Proud Slayer. Oh, that is one way to get your oath fulfilled. Get your head shot off by a zombie. And I believe that's all of them. We will see. And yeah, at this point, it's just a dragged out game. Yeah, I have to ask if the single entities. So, quick question, Falcon, while you're in chat. I can't remember the most recent rendition of the banner rules, but do the Gunnery Whites count as a attacker? Like, do single entity Gunnery Whites count as attacking? And does the Vampire Fleet Admiral? It looks like he's like shooting right now. Yeah, he says he's moving them in range now. Because like you can't just run in circles and you know, kite the entire time unless you have to be fighting in some capacity. I don't think they do. So here are the Gunnery Whites, you know, running back here. Morgul's are coming around. Dwarves are 100% going to win this game. Yeah, I don't think they count as attacking the Gunnery White and the Lord. I think you'd have to be attacking with like some of these other units. Yeah, that's what I thought. So, yeah, so I'll let him know now. Lord/Whites don't count as attackers. Yeah. So other units need to press. Cool. Yeah, because like the Morgul's or some of these other guys will need to go in. Yep, he's going in. He's just getting his bats ready, his deck choppers and stuff. Morgul's coming around the bend. It looks like an Invocation of Heck is activated as well. So the Morgul's are going to be getting the heal. And this is like his last chance. He's got to push in here. See, if he had like a zombie deckhand mob or something else like shooting, that would count as an attacking unit. Yeah. Morgul's are now pushing in, so that's fine. And the Deck Chopper Bat's going to be swooping around the back going after the Slayers. An extra powder is certainly helpful. Yeah, little bats are shooting up here in the sky. You can see the Deck Chopper shooting in, but the Dwarves are going to line their sights up here on these bats, and it's going to be a pretty bad time for these guys. Obviously, not going to be super efficient there. The Morgul's just clawing. It's so funny when the Morgul's move. It looks like they're like begging for life. They're like, "Please, I'm too weak to get in fight." Here come the Morgul's diving into the Dwarf Warriors, who I'm not sure if they got their brace off. It was a little bit hard to tell, but plenty of Slayers nearby, and the dreaded Peak Gate Guard, the scourge of the Vampire Coast, waiting in the shadows. Deck Choppers up in the sky, certainly taking a pretty big pounding, and now the Crabs are moving in. Morgul's are moving in, but of course they're going to be attacked by some Slayers here. But really nice play there by Zablasky. He is able to get the Zombie Power Deckhand mobs. A nice summon on top of the Dragonback Slayers, which will help quite a bit. Balance of Power is kind of like looking okay for Coast. Yeah, I mean, it's creeping a little bit, but I think it's kind of a bit of a false hope. Because now that the Peak Gate Guard have arrived, things are going to get serious. And now, if Zablasky wanted to kite a little bit, he would be allowed to, because he's attacking with other units outside of single entities here. So here comes the Peak Gate Guard, hammers out, beards and belt, boys. And you can see the Morgul's, this one clawing for dear life as it's clubbed here by the mighty Dwarven Hammers, which aren't normally good against such things, but I mean, damage is damage, and they have 55 weapon strength. They also do magic damage, which I don't think that helps against Morgul's, but Morgul's get crumbled down. And now the Dwarves are able to focus all of their firepower on other targets over here, including the Morgul's and the characters and the bats. Of course, some of them are still crumbling in the Shadow Realm as they shoot. Yeah, there wasn't a rule break there. It's just like, it was just kind of a, like, usually players get a second to regroup and, you know, get their bearings and things like that. Obviously get in position and whatnot, but yeah, it was totally fine. Totally fine. And here we have the Gunnery White being chased down by the Rune Lord, the duel of duels. Who's going to win this epic showdown? Look at this. Oh, yeah. The big battle. I don't know who'd win that, actually. I mean, maybe the Gunnery White, if he would like focus his rifle on the Rune Lord, would be pretty good there. Peak 8 guard forming ranks, and here pretty much all we have left are Gunnery Whites. And Tech Droppers. Poor Zablaski, man. Trying so hard. Tried so hard and got so far. Yeah, Rune Lord's on the hunt. He's going for the kill, man. He's chasing that bad boy down. And the bats are still rotating and shooting about. The Vampire Fleet Admiral's in combat, attacking the Dwarf Warriors. It's a slow grind here for the Vampire Fleet Admiral. I think Zablaski has to know it's over. This game's been over for like 8 minutes. It's been over for a long time. You gotta give him props though, man. He's a scrapper. You can see the Peak 8 guard are chasing down the Gunnery White over here. The bat's about to run out of ammo. Very, very low. Taking some crossbow fire. Yeah, Depth Guard are actually decently good against dwarves. I actually saw a pretty good coast build once, which used Sirens. It used Sirens, Depth Guard, and Crabs and Morgul's, like a combination of all those units. And somebody's like just ended. Yeah, he's trying to snipe to the best of his abilities. But it's not going to be army losses anytime soon. Definitely just kill the bats. Because if the bats are to disappear, then he's pretty much going to be forced into combat and do it to it. 5 bloated corpses and just go big. That's something to think about. The Black Pariah Pit is activated, giving the Vampire Fleet Admiral a little bit of Winds of Magic. Winds of Magic business. And yeah, the Gunnery Whites still just trying to snipe whatever they can. But I mean, they're just like, you can see, like, even though the dwarves aren't doing much damage, the bounce power is going in the favor of them because the yeah, and Zablaski really pacing out his summons here. So he gets another summon, which means he's allowed to pull back and kite now while those units fight. Really just trying his hardest. There's no way, though. There's no way. Sorry. Water went down the wrong side of the pipe there. This balance bar is drunk. A little bit. Yeah, I mean, there's still Thunderers shooting back. The Thunderers are putting some hurt on the Gunnery Whites. The summon's quite nice. Buy some time for the Vampire to try and run away. There's also some Longbeards here, too. Longbeards will be super hard to break there. I mean, the psychology, these boys are thick. Yeah, the bats need to be attacking. It's a hard one to enforce. But he's got the summons active right now, so it's fine. I understand. He's trying to scrap pretty hard. It's sometimes easy to miss those little things. Zablaski's always been one to follow the rules, in my experience, so don't you stress it, my friends. And yeah, the Vampire Fleet Admiral going to be getting crumped by the Rune Lord. And the summons will be offline in just a second here. And the bats are taking some shots. 8 leadership. A little bit more focus fire would actually crumble those bats. You should definitely focus them if you can. Bats needed to be... I'm not even going to bother with it. This game's over. It's just... I'll tell them after the game. It's a pretty unique situation with this match. But yeah, so the bats are being sent into melee now. And they're just going to go down. So I'll tell them now. Once bats are gone, you need to fight. Cool. So the bats will be gone in a second. And he's basically going to be forced into melee combat, trying to get as much separation as he possibly can here. Yeah, he's pushing it a little bit for sure. Summon does count though. Yeah. And it looks like the Jack Droppers are going to be going down, and the Gunnery White here, now being a single entity, is going to be forced to stay in combat, it looks like. But it looks like he's pulling back a little bit, which I don't think he's allowed to do at this point. Although technically there's still 2 bats fighting, so in that moment he's like allowed to pull back, but it really doesn't matter. The dwarves are going to win that one. The bats were in combat for a couple seconds there. Now Zablaski's going to be making his last stand. But there's no way. There's just too many big, thick dwarves here. And the Jawi are going to be claiming victory. No surprises there. It's an incredibly difficult matchup. And, yeah. That's a bold one, man. That's a bold one. Well played. I mean, he tried for sure, but it's tough. The Coast, definitely, in my opinion, the strongest faction of the game. But if anybody can beat them, it is the dwarves. These proud, thick Mohawks. Stalwart people. And down goes the Gunnery White. Down goes the other lad. All right, GG. What a Dob says, what a sleeper. I know, tell me about it. We can't have everything we want. I know, they can't all be winners. Hovik, thank you for the $5. When's the next faction war? Probably in like 2 or 3 weeks. I'm going to start messaging folks very soon about the faction war. There's so much stuff I want to do, you know? I'm just like, oh, faction war and World Cup and... Yeah. And Dob should pay to end the torture. All right. The Ashen Hall. No, that map sucks. I should put them on Essence of Chaos as punishment to prevent kiting. What map should we do next? Is Vulture Ridge a good map? Yeah, Vulture Ridge is fine. Or is that the one with the big awkward hill in the middle? I think Vulture Ridge is fine. Kiting dwarves don't work. Yeah, it's definitely not super efficient. We have done... I'm trying to think what map we want to do. We do Pillar Bone. The grudge is settled. We'll do Glacial Lake. Glacial Lake. Time to change it up a little bit. Yes. Zaka style perhaps someday, man. Yeah. Winter Tooth, oh god. So we are on the Glacial Lake. It is time. Depth Guard beat Slayers. Yeah, Depth Guard do beat Slayers pretty handedly. Yeah. Vulture Ridge is awful. Yeah, we switched it. We're going to be doing the Glacial Lake. One of my favorite maps, because it reminds me... It was one of the first maps I played in Warhammer 1. So it brings me back to my days of my youth. Warzag is a great lord. I agree. I think Warzag is an exceptional lord, brother. You don't have to... I wouldn't say he's the best lord in the game, but as far as greenskins go, he's up there. He's pretty good. All right. The map is set. The players are on to picks and bans. Zach B. Sane up 2-0 here in the grand finals. And if Zach B. Sane wins, the series is over. That'll be a 3-0 rock hard erect sweep. And yeah, that'll be it, man. That'll be it. We'll do it to it, man. What was the quest battle map for Krell? It's the one with the skulls, right? Like the Tomb Blade or the Chaos Tomb one? I forget. But Glacial Lake is the map. Zablasky asking for the picks and bans. This is for the last spot in the ECL Grand Finals of Season 5. We've been on quite a journey, creating a legacy. Always fun. Warzog does have some sweet dance moves. Yeah, that guy can cut some grass, as they say. You guys remember that movie? What was it called? Major Pain? It's from the 90s, Major Pain. They're at like the dance and then like they're like, you know, talking to Major Pain if he can dance. He's like, I've been known to cut some grass in my day. It's so good. I love it. Major Pain is like one of those movies that just like would not fly today, you know? Like a lot of those like 90s, early 2000s comedies would just not fly today. Like there would just be like, you know, all this raising up against them, yeah. Major Pain was a fun one, though. I think that's what it's called. Gojira. Good timing, man. Yeah. I've been known to cut some grass in my day. It's so good. I love it, dude. Oh, those were the days, man. Yeah, Blazing Saddle. Oh, I mean, if we're talking like Blazing Saddles era, for sure, dude. Like those Mel Brooks movies, yeah. Those would have some trouble. Already 1 a.m. in Europe. Time difference sucks. It does. We're almost done though, man. You've stayed the course. We're here in the final stretch. Yeah, Dylan McKinnon. Neither had I. Some weird synaptic trigger in my brain just like made me think of it based on one of the comments. That's what's so fun about like chatting with you guys too. Is like all the things you guys bring up. It like makes me remember parts of my past that I had forgotten. You know. The Crimson card saying, I'm loving playing Kislev campaign, my ice attacks and chaos running. Oh yeah, there's a mod for them. I'm probably just gonna wait for the for the actual Kislev to come out, but yeah. Yeah. I think I want to watch Major Pain. Yeah, Married with Children for sure would be one that would have trouble in our day and age. It probably would get a lot of backlash. Zach may be here? I think so. I'm just making sure Zach didn't disconnect. No problem. Yeah, I think for next season ECL, I'm going to make it so there's a 5-minute timer running. And if a player doesn't ready up in that 5-minute timer, they get like a warning. And then if they get multiple warnings, they get a game loss. Like, I know it's a little bit harsh, but for the sake of like how long some of these lobbies are, I think we got to do that. Something like that, because it does take quite some. I understand it's like a very high pressure situation, but I got to think of something. Yeah, that is Major Pain is the movie where he breaks the man's finger to distract him from his leg. Yeah. Yeah, we haven't seen Skaven today, I don't think. How nuts would it be if Zablasky came back and won? We've had that happen in a couple of ECL finals. That happened with Hadries and Zero. I think Hadries won the first two and then Zero won the next three. Yeah. Yeah, Zablasky's been in some tough matchups for sure. Okay, Zach B. Sane is going Chaos and banning Dark Elves. So Zach is going to be on Chaos. I mean, 5 minutes is a long time. Do you think the next Total War is Warhammer 3? Yeah, I do. I would be willing to wager that. I'm pretty sure they've even said it, right? I don't know. A game loss? No, no game loss. We give them a Bretonnia-only peasant build. A Doom stack. 20 peasants, gold chevrons with Enchantress. And they have to try and win. You know, peasant hordes would work better if the army sizes were bigger. Like, okay, so it looks like Zach B. Sane's going to go Chaos. Zablasky's picking right now. Plenty of options here against Chaos. I mean, Chaos has, you know, a lot of even matchups, some bad ones. But it depends on what Zablasky is, you know, proficient with. Yeah, Vampire Counts can be quite good against Chaos. You know, historically it was like the hardest counter, but then, you know, people discovered that Chaos Spawn are a thing and they got buffed, and then that changed it a little bit in my opinion. And Shaggoths, of course, with Spawn are scary. Are Greenskins good against Dwarves? Yeah. Greenskins have a good matchup against Dowie. I'd say slightly Greenskin favored, but Dwarves can still win it. It's like not, you know, a super crumping. Like, if you get a really good Dwarf specialist, they can beat Greenskins. Oh yeah, dude, whenever there's a new campaign coming out, I'll always do one, like for new DLCs and things like that. Oh yeah. Yeah, there'll be another Ultra Fun tourney this week, don't worry. The KFC bucket. Well, KFC is probably the best lord in Chaos. His delicious gravy and final transmutation and mass and terror and durability, unbreakable, like he's so good. Greenskins are pretty good across the board. I'm trying to think of the worst Greenskin matchup. I don't know. It's a tough one. Grievous Khan, how you doing, man? Oh, it's a raid from Sotek. Well, hope you had fun over in the Great Lore Master stream. The Lore Meister. It's going to be Empire vs. Chaos, the classic. Here we go, baby. We got the boys back in town. Chaos Spawn got, I believe, a little bit of a melee attack buff, and then they also got a cost reduction, which was one of the biggest things. They were overpriced, but I believe they got like 100 or 150 gold reduction, which is huge. So that's really nice. What's the matchup favor between Dowie and Empire? Heavily favored for Dwarves. Like, Empire doesn't have that many bad matchups. Like, Empire is like good against almost everyone or decent against everyone, but Dwarves is like another hard counter for Empire. Dwarves are like that. They're like really bad against some factions, but can just dump on other ones. It's really, really strange. Yeah. Yep. Peasant Bowmen are great, for sure. Solid units, especially since the poison isn't friendly firing you anymore. That's really, really nice. Hey, Grievous Khan, it's a pleasure to have you here, my friend. And this is potentially the last game. I mean, if Zach is able to win this, it's over. But if Zablasky comes, the potential for the reverse sweep is there, and the Sons of Sigmar shall rejoice. I'm very excited to see what Zablasky brings here. Yeah, Stone Trolls and Bob. Stone Trolls aren't bad against Dwarves. They're not bad. They have the missile resist, which is really helpful. But they still get focused down and blasted by cannons and things like that, and gyrocopters. But kill anything without a beard. Yeah. Dwarves have always had a really hard time with High Elves, Beastmen, you know, those type of factions. Like, High Elf with, like, Noble Chariots. Oh my god, High Elves are so good against Dwarves. Ironically, their most hated enemy is, like, the one... Well, they probably hate Skaven more than High Elves, but... Yeah, it's a pretty rough one. I'm gonna go get some water real quick. I'm going through this little cup. Delicious H2O, my friends. Wood Elves versus Dwarves. Oh god, that's one of the worst matchups to watch. It's so horrible. Oh god. Yeah, Skaven are a hard counter to Dwarves also. Like, Skaven wreck Dwarves really, really bad. You expecting a 4 Forsaken Rush? Well, I have a build that I've used against some top tier Empire players, and it's been pretty successful. It is a water machine, yeah. I usually just use Marauders with Spawn, Marauder Horsemen, or Throwing Axes, Warp Chicken, you know, that kind of stuff, and just advance. Zablaski can kite, but this map is terrible for kiting. It's really small, so like Chaos like probably would be happy to push you into a corner and just get you. Yeah, so I wouldn't bank too much on a full kite. A little bit of kiting, yeah, but not like full kite. And Shifts, love your streams, man, and enjoy watching your tournaments. Much love from Australia. Hope your hands get healed soon and you can play soon. And stay safe during the Nurgle Plague. I am. My wife and I are staying very safe, and thank you so much for your support from the land down under. And yeah, much love, man. Much love. We'll keep going for you. We'll keep going. Zablaski is ready. Zach B. Sane taking his time. We will see what he's got up his sleeve. We will see indeed. Zero, of course, waiting in the grand finals atop his throne of skulls. If we go ahead and take a look here at the players so far. You can see Telex Lensus here, qualified first week, followed by Anticity, Falcon, Flying Taco, Fistek, Zero, and Random Nix. The winner, of course, of today's best of 5 here between these two fine gentlemen will be going on to the grand finals of the season. We will see who makes the best recipe for Grum the Punch as we do go on and do battle, man. Yeah, buddy. Let's get this party started, man. If I only have Missile Cav left, am I allowed to kite still? I think so. Yeah, you are. Your opponent will probably just... Yeah, you are for sure. Kunal says, hi, Turin. Love from India. Really like your content. Hey, man. Hope all is well over there. I would imagine you guys are probably dealing with some serious heat as well, if we are. Well, I mean, not that we're geographically close or anything, but I know the whole planet is kind of dealing with heat. But hope you're doing well, Kunal. My brother's actually been to India. He had a great experience out there. I've never been myself. Turin, do you ever think you would have watchers from all... No, I mean, I had no idea, honestly. When I first started YouTube, when I got like 5 subscribers, I was like super excited. And, you know, one of them was my mom and one of them was like, you know, one of my close friends. You know, like I never knew what to expect. Yeah. Just thinking, well, Zach, it is time. Zach really, you know, big thinker here, big brains. No heat here in Denmark. It's getting cold. Yeah, it's nice. Lady Turin is melting here, unfortunately. Because I handle heat pretty well, but she definitely doesn't. How do you deal with kiting opponent? Well, you just either have enough durability to endure it, or you just have anti-kiting assets like your own firepower that can outrange them or force them to attack you. Yeah. There's plenty of ways to deal with kite. Like, we've seen it beaten time and time again. Granted, it's very strong, but, you know. If Turin was from a faction, which would it be? I don't know. Probably like Empire or something. I mean, I'm a human, so... Yeah. I don't know. Perhaps a heretic. We will see. Let's get this party started. Giving them a casual warning here. Let's get this party started. Lich109, thank you for the 5 CA. Seeing how there's only one winner, I'm wondering if there should be... this should have been called De Chef instead of De Recipe. Yeah, it should have been De Chef. You're right. You're right. All right, a little nudge got him ready to go. You know, it's all good, though. It might take some time, but at least we get to chat and hang out. No, my mom never, like... I don't think she'll tune in... In my earlier streams, my mom would tune in and be like, hi, Nikki. And I was like, oh, hi, Mom. But she doesn't... She'll, like, go and look every now and then, just, like, hear my voice. But I don't think she, like, watches the streams. Yeah. I think they got the message. I know. Well, Zablaski was ready for quite some time. You know, it's a tough process picking, especially in a high-stakes environment like this. Turin would be the grot on Grom's banner. You know, that's quite an honor. Oh, hi, Nick. I know. My name is Nick. And Turin is my middle name. What would be the first faction you'd play in Total War Middle-earth? Probably Rohan. Come on. Probably Rohan. Yeah, come on. Dude, you got to. You got to do it, man. Rohan, like, imagine the thumbnails and, like, the cutting in clips from the movies that we could do with that game. Dude, it would just be insane. Richard says that's what your mom wants you to think, that she doesn't watch your streams. And yeah, for Zach's build, it's great. Chaos Marauders backed up with Spawn, just like I said, pretty good. Got Dragon Ogres to fight the Empire Heavy Cav. Marauder Horsemen in numbers to play the skirmish game, a Manscore. And it's actually going to be Archeon the Everchosen, who's also very good in this matchup. Burning Head is exceptional. You can use Burning Head to roast Empire handgunners very, very well. And he's also a powerful enough duelist to fight Franz and stop Volkmar as well. So, yeah. That is that. And now here for the forces of Zablaski. He's down, but he's certainly not out. Zablaski, an amazing player, always down for a scrap. He's got a front line up. Whoa, this is some next level shit right here. Zablaski using one of the most underused unit in all of the Empire, actually using Halberdiers. So Zablaski coming in with Penta Halberdiers, 4 handgunners, Volkmar the Grim, always a people's champion. Volkmar is so good. He's just such a pain. Spearmen in the back, Empire Knights, and Empire Knights. So really, like, his anti-large is the handgunners plus the halberds. Oh my god. Look at this. Look at this. Halberdiers. I don't know, I'm a little bit concerned. I like, halberds are cool and all, but they still only have like 30 armor, so like Spawn plus Marauders, I feel like can cut through them very quickly. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. I don't know. I have no predictions, really. I mean, you have to watch out, too, for the chariots that can penetrate into the back line and really wreck those handgunners. I think Zablaski is flying too close to the sun today. Yeah, one bad burning head could, like, be the end of Zablaski. He's got to be really careful. Like, halberdiers will die super quick to burning heads. Me Sloth says, I smell gunpowder and it smells like victory. Dude, man, haven't seen halberds in a long time. It's an old unit, but it still checks out. I've always thought halberds weren't very good. Like, I always feel like spearmen just kind of do the job better. Not bad. I mean, obviously halberds are better, but like for the cost, and I mean, I guess it does give you extra AP against the Chaos roster in general, which is fairly armored. Then times draws near, says Zach B. Saint. All right, let's see. The Empire build really is glorious. It's like the halberd and shot build, the pike and shot. Yeah, it's going to be really fun, guys. So the battle's underway, and the handgunner's immediately just going to be like a punishing salvo, tearing into the Marauder Horsemen. Oh my god, the Marauder Horsemen got freaking massacred there. Look at the damage those guys took. And yeah, they're forced back. They might break. No, they're going to rally, but Volkmar the Grim going to be going in, running some interference, dropping a banishment here. Zablaski really doing everything he can to halt the advance of these troops. Handgunner's opening it up on the Mirror Guard, and now he's going to be falling back behind the boys. The handguns are going to be falling back, that is. Volkmar the Grim's banishment did okay. Went through some of the Chaos Marauders, and now Volkmar is just kind of running through the Mirror Guard, which of course is a very, very good choice as well. And the Empire is going to be farming ranks using Empire Knights as well as Spearmen on the flank. But, dude, I am so concerned about a Burning Head right now. Like, a Burning Head would just be game blouses. It would just be so, so bad. So here comes Volkmar the Grim. Soulfire Bombardment here is going to be sweet, dropping some Righteous Fire on these foul Slaneshi heretics. Did a little bit of damage, 69 models for the Mirror Guard. Oh yeah, that's what Slanesh said. And now Spawn are charging into, halberds, which is actually a really, really good trade here for the halberds. They'll be very efficient in that situation, but a big flank overload coming as well. Ooh, but look, a net's going down, but also a Burning Head. Oh, the Burning Head makes contact. Those halberd pull back. Okay, Zablaski, really, really good control. He sends forward these Marauders to dodge it, and he pulls back the other ones. The Burning Head gets pretty much no value because of his good micro. Very well played to Zablaski. Now, his gun line is still in position. He's able to drop some nets here on the Dragon Ogres. It looks like the Empire Handgunners dropping some fat shots here on the Summoners of Rage. Those guys certainly taking a little bit of work. And Light Wizard currently using the Power Stone to get some more Winds of Magic. That opening salvo from the Handgunners made the stream not safe for work. Very, very true, man. Very, very true. Halberd's doing okay. Getting worn down, of course. These Halberds should be able to hold back Chaos Marauders. But the big thing for the forces of Zablaski is the fact that he's doing an excellent job keeping all his Handgunners firing. And the Spawn are trying to push through, but many of these guys are going to be last samurai'd by the Powder of Sigmar. A couple will get through, which is going to be painful. See these big, nasty, freaking John Carpenter monsters going to be going in and attacking the Handgunners. Empire doesn't really have too much to protect them. I guess a couple spears in reserve could be pulled up to deal with it. And Chaos is now collapsing in, but Chaos is certainly behind on the bounce of power, like the Manticores, the Spawns, like all their big assets, including the Horsemen, have also been really, really pounded by the handgunners, right? And Volkmar the Grim is still going balls deep in this army. And like when Volkmar's alive this late in the game, shit can get really, really nasty for sure. Zablasky says, we will see about that, pertaining to the end times question right there. Burning Head going down, it hits the Spearman. That was actually a pretty good one. Burning Head will go through those guys, and the Bounce Power actually pulls Dead back towards the middle. Man, this is a really scrappy game. Yeah, Chaos suddenly gets in the back line, and that's all it takes. All 4 handgunners compromised. Chaos Chariot spawn, and Archeon the Everchosen just going ham back here, and really causing some serious problems. Halberds, of course, holding, but Mirror Guard probably will be able to eventually cut through both these units. Zach Bisane needs to be really, really careful and make sure he uses these Marauder Horsemen appropriately to chase off the handgunners. If handgunners are able to rally, you know, in 2 or 3 different corners of the map, it's going to be a big problem. Yeah, Chain Lightning going down from the Dragon Ogres, the Summoners of Rage, which are now broken from all the Halberds. Volkmar plus the Halberds are also going to be very tough to break. Like, that box of, you know, his buffs plus the anti-large, like, that's going to be something to worry about. Archeon, unfortunately, does do magic damage. I think Volkmar has some pretty respectable magic damage or resistance for sure, so it's not going to be the best for him, but he still can do it. Handgunners are back online here. It looks like 2 units in total, which is very substantial. And now they're going to be dropping some hot bows here into the Chaos Feral Manticore, which has been afflicted by the net of Amachok. Handgunners going to be lining up their sights. Fire, reload, fire. Should be able to put some firepower here into the Manticore as they form ranks, and here it comes. Lining up them shots. That Manticore getting pounded up in the sky. Probably going to break after 1 or 2 more volleys. Chaos, however, has broken up the Empire front line to an extent, but Volkmar is still very much a presence here. He's got a lot of Spearmen, a fair amount of Halberds over here, who are still fighting the good fight. And Archeon, what is Archeon doing? Archeon's back here trying to shut down handgunners. That Manticore does come out of his nets, and Archeon is able to distract this backline long enough. Manticore could definitely go assassinate that Light Wizard and or come for some terror routes back here. But as far as the Chaos front line goes, it looks like Volkmar the Grim has won that engagement quite handily. Still got some Mirror Guard, I guess. Archeon's going to be a force to get rid of too. Like, the handgunners need to be dealt with. Those bad boys certainly are a problem. 26 models, -10. It looks like some of the Spearmen are going to be rushing in to fight the Lord of the End Time. Certainly a very unfair matchup, as a couple of them are cleaved. Oh, especially that guy. He had a really bad time. And Archeon pulling back now. Where's he going? Looks like he's hunting down some more ranged assets. Here you can see the Light Wizard is being chased by Marauder Horsemen. Actually being kind of corralled on the edge of the map. They're like wrangling him to somewhere where he can't run. Yeah, you can see the Light Wizard is actually shaken. Like, 1 attack might be able to break that bad boy. Balance of Power is actually dead even again. Jesus, this game is actually really close. Zach Bisane, you know, trying to close out the series, but Zablasky scrapping with all of his Sigmarite heart, trying to get back in this game here. It was a pretty gangster build for sure. But the Light Wizard is going to get hunted here. I think he's going to get caught. Yeah, he's staggered. Summoners of Rage are coming. He's broken. And you can see the end times have come for this Light Wizard. He's like the Light Wizard in the trailer who gets turned into a Tzeentch Lord. So there goes that Light Wizard. I'm sure he's going to be driven insane in the Chaos Waste. And now for the rest of the Empire army, it is a dead even bounce of power. All we really have are Halberds and Spears with Volkmar. Are they going to be able to win it against his Chaos host? That's a tough one, man. I don't know. It depends on the Winds of Magic situation. Like, there's also Chariots still alive too. That's really bad. Like, the Chaos Chariots are going to be able to wreck these units. Like, if they're fighting Marauders and other things like that, and the Chariots rear charge them, that is going to be super painful. Yeah, man. We're going to see how this goes. The last Sons of Sigmar gather at the Glacial Lake to stop the northern invaders. The Halberds and Spears form ranks. That's a pretty epic looking scene for sure. And Volkmar is going to be attacking here. Oh, that's also a big problem too. Look at this. Zach Bisane actually has Marauder Horsemen, so he could just sit and like pick off these Halberds who are not shielded. Look at this. The poor Halberds are running forward, taking a lot of firepower from the Horsemen. Volkmar is going forward as well. He's like, screw this shit. Just waving his hammer. But yeah, these Halberds are not meant for this type of play. And they're going to have a bad time. There he goes. Halberd's going to be breaking here in a second. Manticore's going to be coming in. Chaos Chariot will certainly be rear charging here. And Archeon, the Everchosen, I'm not sure where he went. Where is Archeon? Archeon is just running out in the middle of nowhere, just kind of doing his thing. Halberds are broken. Chaos Chariots are here, and they're just cackling in the background, but Zablasky's doing his best to, like, form the ranks on the Spearmen and try and, like, get in a position where the Chariots can't punish him, but it's, like, it's so hard. Because now he could just charge into the side of these guys. Volkmar is nearby, though. You got to watch out for that. But the problem is, Volkmar attacks the Chariot, then suddenly you have the Halberdiers who are vulnerable to the Marauder Horseman fire, so, yeah. It's a really, really tough situation. Archeon's going to come in and just go ham. He's more or less full health. He has Slayer of Kings, probably has enough Winds of Magic for a Burning Head, too. Like, The spearmen here are wavering at the mere presence of Archaon. Oh, why did they charge him? No, they should have braced, but I don't think it matters. Archaon's just going to annihilate these guys, probably. -1. All he needs to do is break them. As soon as he can break these guys, they're just going to run off the battlefield. I mean, even without Burning Head, I think Chaos would probably still win this. Yep, those spearmen are broken, and now on the other side, he charges into the unbraced spearmen, catching them with their pants down, and they break as well. Chaos Chariot's going to be coming in, like, maybe just going into a box would be the appropriate call here. I think if the halberds, like, just gathered up and we're like, all right, bring it on, man. Bring it on. So here are the halberds. This is why you don't see halberds too often. Grand Shield of Faith is active, trying to hold. Zablaski doing his best, but now he's getting a taste of the kite that he gave last game, that's for sure. Or with the Vampire Ghost, and who would have thought Chaos would be the one with the ranged advantage here against his powder build. Yeah, Archaon could probably solo all this stuff here. There's a Manticore, there's a Chariot. They're throwing their throwing axes, their weapons here. And like everything is just breaking. It's just that one unit of halberds here, and they're shaking themselves, and like anything that gets pushed away from the main formation are just going to, you know, just get rode down by chariots and all these other assets here. Volkmar might be able to kill a chariot model. Oh, he does! Volkmar kills a chariot! That's a nice grab, but the spearmen are still running for the hills. Those halberds are the only bastion here. But Chaos is about out of ammunition. No, they have a little bit left, so Chaos can keep playing this game for a moment longer as the Marauder Horsemen do it. But I think it's time for the Alpha Strike. Yeah, Zach is like, I've had enough! I've had enough. And now the hordes of Chaos are going to be descending. Halberds are not immune to psychology, so they're just going to break and run. And yeah, now it's just basically Archaon beating down Volkmar for 20 minutes. That's more or less what it's going to be. The Lord of the End Times ushering Zach B. Sane potentially into the Grand Finals. There's also a Manticore here. Volkmar is not good at fighting these type of units, so yeah, he's going to like tear out off the Marauders, but basically all the other assets in Zablaski's army are going to be chased off. You can see like everything just running for the hills. Chaos just sitting around and cackling. look at Zablaski running with Volkmar and like, oh, so far bombardment, nuking the Marauder Horsemen. Solid play. Balance of power really starting to reflect the accurate state of the game though, as Archaon Ever Chosen just going balls deep with the Slayer of Kings, dude. 844 weapon strength, that is some serious shit right there. And yeah, your boy Volkmar, though he's powerful, like he's good at surviving, but he's not good at fighting a character like Archaon with the backing of the Manticore. And Archaon's going to cackle as the end times have come to the Glacial Lake. But, you know, that's actually lore accurate because Volkmar the Grim, in lore, he goes up to the north to fight Chaos on his own, and he basically gets, like, killed by them. I believe he duels Archaon, actually, and loses. And then the Chaos marches to the south, and then they're fought by the main Empire army. But Archaon, I believe, does defeat Volkmar in lore in a battle, which makes sense. I mean, Volkmar is, you know, he's powerful, but he's not, like, the best duelist in the world, right? Archaon's pretty proficient, and he's also a great magic user. Oh, the Burning Head for style points. Yeah, I might have tickled him for like 6 HP damage. And Volkmar the Grim, soon to be felled by the Lord of the End Times. Down he goes, falling off his Pope Mobile. And the End Times have come. Well played to Zach B. Sane, and congratulations to our final qualifier in Season 5. Zach B. Sane fighting through some serious competition today and winning 3-0 in the Grand Finals. So now if we go over to the bracket, you guys can see my sweaty form as well as we move Zach B. Sane to the Grand Champ position for today. Well played. Well played indeed. That was in the Storm of Chaos, which isn't canon. Okay, that makes sense. Jedi Maz the money, thank you for the $9 to close out this stream. Really appreciate that, man. The Pimp Mobile is down. It is. Well played, Zablaski. Put up a great fight, brother, but in the end, Zach B. Sane was able to emerge victorious today. He'll be moving on to the Grand Final, so let us do the formal inscription. Add his name to the Hall of Champions of this season. So let's get the text, and this is going to be Zach. Zach B. Sane. Not sure which one he capitalizes, which one he doesn't, but of course we can adjust it. So he is our final qualifier. Well played, man. It was a good one. Zach B. Sane will be earning today's cash prize and also qualifying for a chance to earn an even bigger, thicker prize in the Grand Finals. Well played to Zablaski, man. I love the Halberd handgunner build, but Halberds just, man, I just never get them to do what I want. You think they'll hold, but they just don't. They just get broken. It's just, it's a weird one. So on that note, I want to thank you all for joining today. It was an absolute blast. The die is cast. Here are your finalists for Season 5 of the Eternal Challenger League. It is going to be an absolute banger. I'm really excited for the showdown, and I hope you guys are as well. So in the next couple weeks, we will have the grand finals. I'm going to communicate with the players, get them all in a Discord, and we'll figure it out from there. But a lot of weird schedules, so we probably will do the first round of 8 offline via replay, and then I'll cast a tournament stream with those. And then the round of 4 will be obviously just like a regular live tournament or something like that. Lady Turin also dropping a link to our Teespring. If you guys wanted to check out some of the awesome merchandise she's created, go check that out. And that is it for now. And mods, thank you as always for your help. I really do appreciate it. Couldn't do it without you guys. Slanesh bots aren't the threat they once were, but there are many other threats that lurk in the shadows. Wicked D, thank you for dropping a link to the Discord. For those of you guys interested in playing in future events, and holy shit, guys, the donations from you guys all today, and girls, I would imagine, are quite insane. So thank you guys all so much. We had some huge donations. I mean, Grim Soko with the 300, multiple $100 donations. We can go through it. Jedi Mazda Money, Lich 109, Hovik, Ann Shifts, FPS Kyle, Sasshole, you almost got me the second time. Ominous Cow, Diedric Cat, Wolf of Sigmar with huge ones. Dawn Carnage, Wolf of Sigmar again, Edward. We have a Japanese name, which unfortunately I don't remember how to read. Wicker Nipple, Lou, Mum Sleep. Is that? I feel like I'm getting tricked with that one. Lou, we'll call you Lou. Sir Pancelot, Cody Bear, Edward Brackus, Edward. Yay, it's a fish. Let's eat a person. I feel like I'm just rambling random things. Christian Bender, Hippie, Grim Soka, Wynand, Aaron Wallace, and King Adjazal. And then, of course, we have new channel members. Guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the Dukes of Haggard. Appreciate you guys. New channel members. Let me go ahead and find you guys. All right in a row. Nick, Ulani, Starwatcher, and Glacy. And then I believe we had one up above as well. And Ryan Vargo. Thank you so much, guys. FPS Kyle, man. He's here. He's rocking it, man. Still going strong in 2020. All right, my friends. That is it. Thank you for joining. That was a fun tournament. Sorry for the lag in the beginning, but we've made it. And I'll be back maybe with a stream tomorrow. I might be doing a Crusader King stream or something like that. Or maybe I'll take tomorrow off and edit some more videos for you guys, like custom videos and things like that. We'll see. All right, guys. Really appreciate you all. And you guys stay safe. Until next time, this is Turin. It has been Turin. And this is the Eternal Challenger League Season 5. Qualifiers are over. The grand finals are up next. Thank you, guys, and we'll see you next time.